We got this. Okay, so what happened last week in SteamWorld Forge? I believe the hero party of legend, as it is now being told throughout the entirety of the Republic,
Was defeated by the Breakfast Club?
No, we're talking about the Breakfast Club. Not Shimmer Force. Shimmer Force was handily defeated by the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club saved the day by rescuing a birthday cake. Yeah. Attending the party of young Phelan on his 11th birthday party, you you guys have been dealing with some things happening at this party. The first of which, apparently, your very own Mr. Leviathan Frost was being groomed by none other than Marcin Calabex to accept a position of Inquisitor under a special investigations unit, to which he turned down with the implied threat of a court-martial due to abandoning his post. And that of also Jace, his superior officer, who also seems to be missing and on the docket for a court-martial. Marcin then promptly left while Gary set about trying to summon Torgoth to quickly dispatch of Mr. Calabex. Unfortunately, things did not pan out the way you intended them. Torgoth, being very busy, needed to get back to whatever it was that he was dealing with, and by the time Gary returned back to the party, the minister had already departed. You had also seen okay. What? Why? Why is two musics playing? There we go. Okay. You had also seen an individual attempt to talk to the Minister of Defense and kind of be waylaid as he kind of beelined for your guys' party, questioning you about some of your whereabouts and activities over the past couple months. After the minister departed, you sought her out. It was kind of a strange interchange between you and a Lena Salieva, the deputy minister of the Arcane. But she said that she would love to have you by for lunch in her tower in Volsterik if you ever were in the area, and then quickly departed. There was also the gifts were opened. There were some things that were heard upon passing through the crowd. Some individuals of note, perhaps, and some exchanges that might have been taking place that you guys kind of picked up on as you moseying through to your destination. You then were tasked with recovering Phelan's birthday cake that had yet to be delivered, which was now running late. In your absence, however, a plot to infiltrate the Duke's vault began to take place. Upon your departure, you happen to intervene unexpectedly, and may or may not have been the result of getting the getaway driver captured and detained before making your way back post haste to stop this group known as Shimmer Force, an eclectic party much like yourselves, from infiltrating and emptying the Duke's vault. You handily whooped their asses. They attempted to negotiate, but it was aggressive negotiations on your guys' part. You forced their surrender. You turned them over to the authorities, and Gary slipped the rogue a lockpick on their way into the paddy wagon and beyond. So, now, as the events of the party kind of slightly derailed, and everyone kind of milling about outside, and kind of like watching the spectacle as these individuals are, handcuffed, thrown into the back of an RSB wagon, and then carted away, as Daniela comes over and takes the stolen, pickpocketed items that you had recovered back, and then begins to kind of distribute them. The Duke makes basically a small announcement. I understand we're all gathered here today to honor my son's birthday. Magnificent achievement that it is, but I would also like to take a moment to say thank you once again to my friends who continue to show their trust and the goodness that resides in each one of them to once again save the day. And he begins clapping, and there is, a round of applause that kind of takes up in your guys' honor.
I bow. Yeah, I bow, and then Ralph bows on my shoulder, but he gets knocked off because he loses the balance.
Okay.
Can't give them too much confidence in us.
Yeah, I was going to say, monkeys are known to be pretty dexterous, but Ralph must be on something.
Oh, he's full of shrimp right now.
They're keeping him off balance. Okay. So, as the festivities seem to kind of get back underway, the presents, there is a moment before, Daniela kind of looks down at Phelan. Well, since we're outside, I do believe there was something set up or supposed to take place out here, kind of motioning to you, Lance, if you wish to have a dog sled race in the around the palace.
Without saying a word, Lance sprints off towards the track.
Okay. Phelan, dragging his mother behind him, getting ready, they kind of get, set up with the two sleds there, and you both take off. Are you attempting to win, or are you going to let the child win?
I'm just winging it.
No, I'm asking you as the DM what your intention
I thought
is.
She was asking me.
No.
I wanted to seem close, but I will let him win at the end.
Okay.
I'll come off quick off the line and then let him catch up, dramatic finish.
Okay. Make a deception check.
I'm gonna sprint off after them and cast Bless on Phelan and his
mom. Okay. Okay.
No.
And then I'm immediately gonna beeline it down towards 50 feet from the finish line.
I guess actually before that happens,
a natural 20 -1.
Oh, okay. So would say go ahead and just roll me an animal handling check.
Okay. Animal handling up there plus 9.
Okay. So that was a 14 plus the bless with 1. So that for a 15 for Phelan. He actually does like he catches on pretty quick. Like there's a little bit like you are quick off the start, just take off. But like he begins to like catch on very quickly, like with some assistance from his mother. Like begin to catch up, and then without even you needing to kind of throw the race, he ends up lapping you, like staying on the inside, like cutting through, you kind of gather this might be the first time he's done this specific thing, but this is not the first time he's like performed in some race of some sort, whether it be horseback
I mean, he's probably like an equestrian. They're rich.
Yeah, he seems skilled at like making the animals do what they need to do, and he seems to have a pretty good like eye for the race line. So you don't really have to pull much. Like he beats you pretty handily, not by a whole lot, but he still beats you enough that it's like it was a good race.
I'm like at the finish line, ready to cast daylight right in front of Lance's eyes, and I just see he's way far behind, and I'm very confused.
And come back, and Daniela kind of like
I definitely cheer.
Adjusts herself. There's people kind of like standing there clapping and cheering and making a good show of it. Daniela kind of like straightens her dress and kind of fixes her hair and her necklace, and kind of like propers herself, kind of resituates Phelan.
With a 13 to performance, I'm going to try to be like, basically like act surprised when he first passes me, because I know that that's the plan. And then when he gets really farther, try not to act nervous that I'm losing.
Okay. Yeah, try to keep her cool. Like, yeah, you like act surprised, and then that real surprise, like you try to like not let the real surprise like kind of like break that facade, and you're like, oh shit. You do a pretty good job.
Like,
this was all part of the plan.
Shit,
the plan wasn't necessary, but it was part of the plan.
Yeah, like it was well intentioned. It was pretty well thought out, and then you didn't need it, and that was surprising. So,
like every one of our plans we've ever had in this campaign.
Yeah. Like gets off, like readjusts themselves. Like she comes over to you and kind of fixes your jacket, and
hoist Phelan up and put him on my shoulders and kind of like parade him around.
Yeah. As Gellamdir is returning by this point, and you strike a pretty imposing figure. You are covered in a little bit of blood, a just ripped shirt, like tuxedo, like it's like torn through and sliced up.
Perception check when she goes to fix his jacket.
Sure. Go ahead and roll.
Whoa. I clicked roll, and the dice is going in like super slow motion on D&D Beyond. That's an 11. Is she a dragon?
Is she a dragon? No.
Dude, roll 20 or D&D Beyond always like lags super hard whenever I fuck up and accidentally hit the roll.
Yeah. Not that you can tell. But Lance, while she's like adjusting your coat. Thank you. This was a very thoughtful gift. I'm sure he will enjoy himself much.
Oh,
and considering your history, this is one of the least dangerous things I think that you could have all come up with to give him. So I appreciate it.
Oh, no problem. He totally deserves it. He's going to be a kick-ass ruler when you guys pass away.
Not too soon, I hope.
Oh, yeah. For long live the Duchess. Oh, and
the Duchy.
Oh, yeah.
To which Norin comes back and I do believe this will fit you, I hope. And he hands it across to you, and it is a new shirt. There is no jacket, and yours is it's like got a couple cuts in it. It's still salvageable. Your shirt's ruined. But like he has like a nice like he hands you like a nice like silk gray paisley patterned shirt. And it's like one like material is wonderful, and it seems to be of like beautiful build craft, except for the fact that it's just covered in ruffles. Like there's just massive ruffles down the front. The collar is ruffled. There's like these massive poofs that come out and like hang down like beyond your jacket, like where your hand is. So it's like you almost have like these like soppy like kelp like hanging from your hand, almost like wiggling it as you put the shirt on. It's beautifully elegant and just very garish.
And
Do
you just
I
look beautiful in it?
do I think it's pirate-esque?
It's got definitely that kind of like pirate kind of quality, kind of like the Zorro shirt, but like more ruffled.
Fuck yeah. Man, the sail and the other one.
And do this.
Like if you were like like an old admiral, this is the kind of shirt you would wear. Maybe not necessarily pirate, but an admiral would wear something like this.
Okay.
I definitely do my best to not look presumptuous as I'm standing there expectantly as blood spurts out of the arrow hole in my shoulder.
Awesome shirt, man. Thank you, man.
Are your clothes ruined as well?
I think it has an arrow hole in him.
And I got shot by a lot of arrows.
Right. Let's see. Does he even notice? He does. Okay. I'll
Okay,
find.
It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I'll have things stationed away in the privy for you. At your convenience. And some bandages. And just kind of goes a little pale at the sight of so much blood, but he doesn't like outwardly balk at it, but he does kind of like scurry away.
I cast
like,
thaumaturgy to make the little flap of cloth like flip back up for a moment to cover
just
the
kind of
blood.
like the blood like still weeping around the wound. Okay. Come on, Joe. Let's go cut your cake. Phelan's very excited. Cut the birthday cake. Finish opening the rest of his presents. Easily distracted with the day's events. But as he's walking away, you do overhear Gary, like Phelan, kind of turn towards his mom. See, I told you they would be helpful. And you hear Daniela, yes, but you still have to ask permission before using things. And then kind of ushers him back inside. He like there's definitely like a little smug sense of like, like Phelan probably got in trouble for using the sending stone. And then now it's like, we'll see, I was right. Sort of little situation, as they're walking away that you pick up on over here.
There's a not insignificant amount of pride in Gary when he realizes that like he's the who you gonna call guy.
Yeah. I mean, and Gary should absolutely feel that way. You do see, off to your side, kind of still milling about. It's probably just after sundown at this point in the festivities. So the evening is starting to get long. And you do see the that gnome figure that you kind of piece together from your overhearings of conversation and milling about to be Albert Keswick. Kind of makes eye contact with a couple of you as you're walking by, and you see him just kind of do this. Like he's
I'll
motioning
saunter
you
over.
over.
I'll go with him.
Absolutely marvelous display this evening. Wow, incredible. There's this short-statured little gnome, large handlebar mustache, like very twirled out, like neatly groomed beard that hangs down, and very garish, patterned, like brightly colored clothing that he wears.
Do we
and
recognize who this person is?
yes, this is Albert. Um, I mean, I guess you wouldn't know who he is. Well, I guess give me a history check. Anybody who is curious.
Because if he's one of the Keswicks, been studying him long and hard.
He is one of the Keswick. This is Mr. Keswick.
This fucker.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a 15 to history.
Yeah.
15 to history as well.
Okay. I would say you do recognize them as one of like the lesser, air quotes, noble families of Oberland. Or not Oberland. Oh shit, what is it? Sorry. The state. The state is
As we're walking over, I'm just gonna like lean down and whisper to Harrow, the Duke has beef with him over some vineyard contracts.
Okay, so we should cautious of him. We don't like him.
To which you guys did overhear, like passing through, that there is some dispute over a contract in which the Duke was outbid. It is a lesser noble of Seredny. I should say that, because Oberland is like its own district. And so walking over, sorry, I don't believe we've met. I am Albert Keswick. I am the current governor of Dunagrad, and this is my colleague Robert Keller of Verinsky.
It is so wonderful to make your acquaintance.
Oh, and likewise. I have, if you don't mind, I would love to pick your brains. Is it true that you're just a band of brigands?
I like to think of ourselves as more of a club, but I think the brigands part is probably accurate.
And do you find yourself in the sole employ of Duke Gellamdir?
We find ourselves in the employ of no one.
We go
Gellamdir
where
is
the
merely a
need is
friend.
Well,
greatest.
another question. If I apologize for my candor. How much is he paying you to keep you on retainer?
What kind of questions are
I'll
these?
just like lean down and pretend to like be fixing my drink, but just get a little close to him. Like, if you have to ask, then you can't afford us.
Perhaps you would be wrong. I'm just entertaining the idea of entertaining the idea of what it'd be like to hire someone of your caliber as my personal security. Did I have need of trustworthy fellows who stick their neck out for others, as it were?
As flattered as we are, and as gracious as an offer as I'm sure you were about to make, we are currently on the job, as it were, with
Uh,
several other
My apologies. My apologies. Just
projects.
never can be too hopeful in making new friends, right?
Did I get the names of the people that tried to rob the Duke?
Like individual names?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
covered, I think, when the driver gave us the descriptions of the peoples.
Yeah, we
That's
got all their
right,
names
you
and their
did. You
descriptions.
did get all their names because you zoned the truth. Hello. You zoned the truth. The monk
It was
in the getaway vehicle.
Seer, Clara, Liam, Nisham,
What was the name of the rogue?
Clara.
Clara, I believe. Let me see here. I have it in my Project Forge and Clara, Leah, Mishan, Nam, Seer, and Kame.
That was
Otherwise known as Shimmer Force.
Did I get like a last name for Clara?
I thought we decided on Sparkle Squad.
Sparkle Squad.
Clara Sparkle Squad.
I would
They're
say
all siblings, and that is their last name.
How do you think the group got named?
I would say probably. I'd give it to you. Last name is Kiir, Kiir.
In that case, I'll just kind of slyly tell him, like, if you need some immediate work done, you should seek out a friend of ours, Clara Kiir. I'm not sure where she's at right now, but
Do you want to make a deception check?
sure. Oh, that's not good. I can just straight roll that. 8.
8. He doesn't. Just kind of. Oh. I would be very interested in meeting this Miss Kier, as you speak of. If
Can I insight check him
Sure, go ahead.
for a 10?
He seems like totally caught up in the spectacle of what's happened, and you can see like he's a little bit like he is doing a little bit to hide a little bit of disappointment in his face, but he is still kind of excited about the prospect of meeting some other individuals much like yourselves.
Last I heard from her, she was running the Sparkle Crew. Odd name, I know, but they're fairly competent.
I will have my people look into it right away. And then at this point, you watch as the other individual who you caught, his name is Robert, kind of grab his stomach and sorry, not feeling well. Too much wine. If you'll excuse me, and excuses himself and just begins to kind of like make his way.
Insight check.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, I cannot do that in roll 20 right now for some reason. 14.
14. But he definitely looks a little sweaty and a little pale.
Arrow's gonna just track where he's walking.
Okay, make a perception check.
I'm gonna go grab my dice because
That's a 26.
26. Okay. We'll come back. We'll come back to that in a second. Kind of Albert. Kind of. Oh, you'll have to forgive Robert. He hasn't quite been himself. Not since the end of the war, you know. Truly a tragic telling. From going to being a high-ranking minister demoted to that of a governor of a small township. He's luckier than most, though.
What town?
I believe that is a small little township called Verinsky. Originally, though, he was one of the ministers of Lestat. Before the events that befell the city. He was lucky enough to make it out with his life, actually. The others, they were all executed for treason. But thankfully, the Duke here showed him some kindness and offered him the township.
Very generous on his part.
Well, as I've heard it told, and he kind of leans in. This is definitely and you immediately, from your insight checks, you immediately peg this person from your interactions as the town gossip. Just the way he, always looking for an angle. And then happily to spread that to whoever he thinks will listen. Otherwise, dear Robert here probably would have been completely destitute. But between you and I, as I've heard it told, it's because that our dear friend, the Duke, and he kind of points over, slyly pointing over in the Duke's direction, was entertaining the idea of joining the rebellion, but instead turned the whole operation over to the Ubitsa. It's all unsubstantiated rumor, though, of course.
It is quite the tale.
There is another rumor I've heard, maybe one you can help me out with. I don't know if you're on the up and up with high politics, but you'll notice that none of Daniela's relatives are present at these festivities this evening. Now, most people say that's because of strained family relations, and I mean, who could blame them, quite possibly, with the veritable fortune that family holds. And you guys would know that the Slaters are, they are the current Duchy of Volsteric, and they are the ones responsible for many of the railways being built throughout all of the Republic. They are a very, very prominent and very wealthy family.
Upon the word horde, just Harrow looks at Gary.
He doesn't notice. He doesn't notice the exchange. But I've heard it that others are saying it's because she's not actually the real Daniela. Absurd, right? Just chuckles to himself, but very intently watches all of your reactions.
I'm just filing all this away for later.
Yeah.
Totally buying all of it.
Okay.
But trying not to let on that I'm very interested in where we're going with this.
Make a deception check. Make a deception check.
Oh, that's a 3.
Does he notice? Oh, no, my dice ran away. Insufficiently random. He does notice this time. I can see you're interested. Saying that she's actually a demon who's taken the form of Daniela and bewitched the Duke. Isn't that absolutely devious?
But what would the point even be?
That just doesn't make any sense.
Oh, do you have any better theories then?
I mean, she's a dragon.
A dragon?
Don't worry about it.
No.
No. I think I see a friend of mine over there. I just walk away.
just leaves him dumbfounded.
I'm just thinking to myself as I'm walking away to Harrow, like, I fucked up. I fucked up.
Harrow's just like standing there like he had to say it out loud. Like he had to do it.
You hear as you're walking away, could it be? I think it's all starting to make sense. Oh yes. And you watch him just scurry away and lose him into the crowd.
Just telepathically to Gary. Thought that was supposed to stay within the group. Oh, suspicions.
I thought I fucked up, okay?
You're having this conversation, like, Harrow, at the end of this conversation, like, as this conversation is, like, reaching its conclusion, before, before Gary pops off, you do see Robert Keller speaking to one of the servants. Just seems to be like a half-elven girl standing there with a tray. Just for a brief moment before like you're sitting there like trying to keep tabs on him as he's walking away, and your attention is pulled away by Gary's comment, and when you go to look back, you don't see Mr. Keller anymore.
Alright, keep an eye on the serpent girl and see, and if she moves to dip out, follow.
No, I would say at this point, like in that like briefest of moment, you do like turn back around and they are both gone. Like there's a door like swinging shut or whatever, but people are coming in and out. You can see like one other, and you can see like I would say probably prior to that she was like not running, but definitely like briskly walking. Now that the fact that there are a serious lack of attendance at this party because all the rest of them are now arrested. So that the remaining staff definitely is feeling like the workload and just like absolutely rushing around to try to like make sure the guests are happy. And you can see like as you're glancing around like drinks are taking a little while, like food isn't coming out as promptly. You can see people like, there are some unhappy guests.
I'm gonna beeline it for the bathroom where the change of clothes that the Duke offered me was supposed to be situated.
Sure.
And I'm gonna try to grab Antinius on my way there.
Okay.
I'll go with him.
Follow me.
Not sure where we're going at this
Don't
point.
ask any questions. Just like shove him into the bathroom and close the door behind us. Okay, so I fucked up. I need you to modify somebody's memory.
I'm not sure if you understand what I do, but you see, the sword. Magic, not my thing. Smashing, my thing.
I saw you do like all kinds of spells before.
I can't erase someone's memory, though. What did you do anyway?
I told somebody that Daniela Slater's a dragon.
Is she?
I don't know. Yes, she's definitely a dragon, but I don't know it for sure.
Well, what does he think she is?
A demon. And I said, no, that's crazy. She's a dragon.
We can check for that.
Well, she's obviously not a demon.
You're a demon? And you don't look like one?
They're totally different. You should know this.
You're still a fiend. It's all fiendish.
I'll like dock your pay for that.
You don't pay me.
We'll fix that later. So, like, what can you do?
I can restore you to the throne that you rightfully sit. Post haste.
We return you to hell, and then you don't got to worry about it. I can ask for some help, maybe, or we can kill him.
Who do you ask for help? Because when I asked for help, it didn't work out as well as I thought it was.
Who did you ask for help?
I asked Torgoth for help.
What was he going to do for you?
Well, he was going to eat somebody. Different situation, but he was going to eat somebody. He's like totally just bail. He's like, I'm busy. I can't eat anybody right now because he's a pain in the ass, as you know.
Understand, though, that, like, you are, like, his patron, essentially, right?
I know.
You are the person that he would ask for help.
It's a weird arrangement, but I didn't know who else to call on that could eat people at the drop of a hat, okay? I needed somebody eaten. I thought it might work. It totally didn't. It backfired. Now he thinks we're wasting time at a party, and he didn't eat anybody.
I mean, we're not wasting time at a party.
I'm just gonna assume you stuttered, and that you also agree that we're not wasting time at a party, and we'll move past that. All right, fine. I finished changing clothes, and I walk back out to the party. Flustered.
I vote inspiration for both of them.
An awkward scene in the bathroom.
I'm half naked the entire time.
Yeah, like flustered, changing. There's a real like boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic that just kind of transpired there. That's kind of great. Yeah, in the changing room. Sure. Make your way back to the party. What would you guys like to do for the at this point? Like you lose sight of Albert. Now probably spreading just unsubstantiated rumor, or not, to anyone.
But before we
that will
go,
listen.
I want to ask Gary what the repercussions of people believing she's a dragon is going to be. Like, why he's so worried about it.
What if she is a dragon?
What if she's a devil, demon, fiend, whatever?
She's not a demon. We know that already.
How? How do you know that?
She's never tried to kill me, and every demon I've ever met has tried to kill me.
Has every dragon you've ever met tried to kill you?
Yes.
Huh.
Lies.
I mean, like, not necessarily tried at their hardest, but definitely tried. A little bit.
Maybe.
They didn't make my life easier, we'll put it that way.
Okay, but once again, though, I mean, if he is spreading the rumor that she is a demon, does it change anything by if he spreads the rumor that she's a demon and or a dragon?
Yeah, because demons are, like, super bad, but not all dragons are bad. Right? Like at least not all the time.
Okay, so once again, though, that could be of benefit to her.
Yeah, but what if she found out that it was me that told him?
I don't know. I feel like she's more
Exactly. I don't know any of this. It's driving me nuts.
Well, I'll tell you.
Just go ask her.
Can
I just go ask her? We should just go ask her.
I think that's a smart plan.
I feel like we should go ask her.
Let's
if
go
you're
find
a dragon,
her.
you have to tell us.
I will beeline it for Daniela Slater.
All right,
will
she's
follow him.
currently in the middle of like cutting cake, yeah, and serving. She's not serving guests like the out of breath attendant. Not the same one that you saw earlier, actually, different one. But like one of the 3 remaining attendants is over there like feverishly cutting cake, slapping it on plates, like doing their best. As there's just like a very pissed off line of very rich people waiting for their cake.
When we get within range of her, I want to use a charge of divine sense.
Okay. You pop divine sense, and you don't get a ping.
Before he like gets too far, I'm like, you're right. She's not a fiend, at least.
I told you.
Well,
I'll wait patiently for like 12 seconds,
Okay.
and then I'll just like walk right up to her.
Okay.
While he's doing that, I'm gonna kind of like wander off to find a secluded spot. Like, even if I have to like leave the grounds, like, I don't know what the layout of the area is, if there's forest nearby or something, but
I mean, there are like secluded-ish spots within like the palace grounds, if you wish.
Yeah.
Or you could go outside and there's like a beautiful garden and like
that works as well.
area. I mean, it is, it is
Actually,
big enough that
I'll wait
that
for him
you
to ask his question of her and see how that goes before I leave. But
Okay, sure. Okay. Um, she does notice you. Sorry, Gary. Protocol. I
Oh,
can't
right.
give you a
Sorry.
piece of cake.
I'll stand like a foot and a half back.
Harry's just watching like a
Yeah.
hawk from the sidelines, like, what the hell?
If you're not here for cake, what are you here for?
I'll step back in really close. We trust each other, right?
As much as two strangers could, I suppose, yes.
Okay. Are you a dragon?
Um, she just the first time you ever see like a smile crack her face, in just absolute absurdity, like the notion.
Insight check.
Go ahead.
28.
28. No, of course not. Is there anything else?
I told you she wasn't a dragon. Walk over
Walk
back over
away.
to Antinius.
But like the farther you get away, the less certain of that answer you actually are. Like you don't know if she was lying like about that, but there was some like her reaction came so like smoothly that it can't like it like you're not sure if she's like she could be a dragon, but you do know that she's hiding something. Like you don't know what, but something in your intuition is telling you like she is absolutely hiding something.
I'm just gonna like berate Antinius from a distance as I walk towards him, and then like grab him and pull him in real close. Go. We need to find Thalen because she's totally a dragon and he can prove it.
Why can he prove that she's a dragon?
I'll have scales and shit. Because he'll be like half dragon.
But
So let me get this straight. You're about to find an 11-year-old boy and then ask him to get naked.
Not naked. Alright, let's not make this weird. But somewhere very secluded where nobody else can see.
But didn't the gnome guy say that she was an imposter?
Yeah, but that part doesn't matter.
But if she's an imposter, that would mean that his actual mother is potentially a human or a fiend or whatever.
No, she's his actual mother.
How do you know?
You
Because
do
when he went
realize-
missing, she like almost killed us because we were taking too long to find him. So like, that's not something that non-mothers do. She's totally his mother.
Okay.
Gary, there is a simple solution for this. We have that
I know,
lantern
checking for
with
scales.
true sight. No, we have the true sight lantern.
But won't
you
that
think
like
she's
make
a demon-
everybody see true sight?
Yeah, so you just use it when you're alone with her, or somewhat alone.
Okay, but what if she is a dragon? What position are you in to deal with a dragon at the current?
Deal with.
Nobody-
She's our friend. If she's a dragon, then we could be like, hey, help us stop the giant Draco Lich from ending the world.
You don't think she's already aware of the giant Draco Lich?
Well, if she's a dragon, she totally is.
Okay,
But at least then we can like be on the same level with each other.
Don't you think she would have offered by now? You did save her son from a snake or something, from what
No,
I've
because
gathered.
every dragon we've met has been super weird about helping us. It takes like a lot of convincing.
And if she was a dragon, why didn't she just go save her own son?
Okay, you've got me there.
I imagine that a dragon and would have an easy time dispatching a snake. Or Gorgon,
you're
or whatever
right.
the hell it was. I mean, if you are you still concerned that your blunder has ruined something?
Well, I mean, she's definitely a dragon.
Okay, but are you worried that the gnome guy talking about this is an issue? Because that is what we just started at. Do I need to try to make arrangements to fix this, or is it okay?
Now I'm concerned that you're talking about murdering him. Are you talking about murdering him, or
No,
can you
I'm not-
actually erase his memories?
I'm not going to murder him. I don't know if I can't erase his memories, but there's a possibility that somebody can. But it's not a snap of the fingers type of thing. And there's no guarantee that anyone will help or that
Is it like
anybody
a
will
whack on
care.
the head type of thing?
I don't know.
How
But if you're
loud
worried
would
that
they
he's
be?
if you're already worried that he's telling people, does it matter if we erase his memory?
I need to think on that. But I don't want to kill him.
I am not suggesting we kill him.
Like 10 minutes ago in the bathroom, you totally were.
Currently, I am not suggesting that we kill him.
Okay, fine. Then we're
How
on
do
the
we
same
just
page.
how do we make a prominent governor of a pretty popular city just disappear?
Yeah, we kill him.
Nobody will miss him if he dies, right?
We are in a city where people have not asked a lot of questions about why I am here, so I doubt that him going missing would be of concern. He said to the voice in the sky.
I will spend the rest of the party eating cake and ruminating on the problems that I've created.
Okay.
As I watch him and be like, I am running out of time to fix. Yeah, possibly just kind of like have my head in my hand, just like, God damn it. I thought babysitting was going to be an easy job.
Harrow just like comes up and like taps you on the back. It's a thing Gary does at parties. He ruins at least one or two secrets. You
That's
gotta
right.
live with it.
But the last party also fucked up real bad.
And I was gonna be like, you know what's wrong? Like even worse about it though is that they have a vault. It's not unsimilar to a horde. Like he's not super far in left field.
Like Harrow telepathically like, oh I know, I also share the suspicion that she's a dragon. Like it's not wrong, you just don't say it out loud.
I feel like Gary says the quiet part out loud a lot.
Welcome to the club. If you have any secrets and he finds out, everyone will know. You just live with it.
It really more seems like anything that I might know might just be a crime nowadays, so.
That is
Out
true.
of character. To be
Please.
fair, Gary's been much better about keeping secrets than most of the other party members so far.
Lance is
I can vouch for that.
More than anything, I just feel like I am a walking felon. My old party mate has apparently done something to really get him ostracized. And I mean, quite frankly, he's dead.
And I mean that's about par for the course. At least for Antonius. But I mean like it's not like so much as nobody's questioning why you're here. Like the Duke did. And was like completely shocked by that exchange, but there's a lot going on and there is no time to deal with that. To anybody else, if they didn't see that, nobody would fucking care. You were just another regular guy as far as anyone else is concerned.
I do not look like I belong here.
Yeah. I mean, you are definitely...
I just mean like my unfamiliarity with like the trains
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, there is sure. Your like constant like dumbfoundedness like in like just to like the most simple and mundane things. So yeah.
Big corn-fed boy from BF Egypt. Ain't never seen the big
War
city
reenactor
before.
showing up to E3.
Yeah, kinda. Okay. So,
And like if Gary's nearby, like, don't you just have true sight? Like you're the Lord of Hell.
Yeah, but that doesn't come with nearly as many perks as you would think.
I think it's because you're not leaning into it.
I've tried. I can like do all kinds of blinding lights right now, but I can't see anything any better.
How about Torgoth? Does Torgoth have true sight?
I don't know. I can
maybe?
ask him tomorrow.
So you ask him tomorrow, and then the day after tomorrow, he could maybe check.
Hold on. Take out the Rocky-talkie. Paul.
Yes, sire. Like immediate response. Almost like was he like waiting for your does he just sit around waiting for your communiques? Like,
Taking it back for a moment, I'm like, this guy's on top of it. Like, he knows how to be a servant of hell.
Seems like a dereliction of duties
When I
for somebody who's
ascend
supposed to
the
run the army.
Guys like that are important. They make up the organization. It's important.
Everyone
Everybody
needs a
needs a
good yes
Paul.
man.
Paul, super quick. Can like Torgoth see like invisible things or like people's true intentions or whether or not they're dragons?
I do believe he suffers from visions that I believe to be hallucinations.
That's not the same thing. Although we should
That
probably
seems
get
to be
him checked out for that.
Seems to be more the reason why you think she's a dragon.
Okay. It might be his blood sugar. Tell him to eat something.
Thing,
Let me know
not
if it happens
one.
again.
Yes. Things are moving here, by the way. We'll talk soon.
Okay, yeah, we're dealing with a dragon situation. If you happen to know anybody that can see dragons, let me know.
I will ask around the camp.
But not like regular dragons, like they have to be invisible dragons. If they can see invisible dragons, and you don't think they're bullshitting or crazy, then let me know. If they just see normal dragons, that's just like basically everywhere in hell right now. So don't let me know about that.
Good point of distinction, Cider.
It was, wasn't it? I'll toss the stone back in the back.
So, while everything's going on, I want to go up to the Duke and just ask him a question.
Yes, Lance. Oh, shirt looks fabulous on the way. You can keep it.
I was planning on that, but thank you. So I have a question.
Sure. I will do my best to answer any questions that you have.
I need to. Well, I guess it's kind of like a two-parter. So I need to kill a dragon. Also,
I'm leaning close.
you know, like between you and me, I also need to like seduce one.
It's just kind of takes back. That is a lofty endeavor.
Oh, they're not the same one.
No. I just mean those are both very lofty endeavors. To slay a dragon, an incredible feat. Very few have survived. Such things. I could give you some general pointers with the ladies, but I don't know if my expertise would fit in that regard. I wouldn't know the first thing about dragons. Beyond what I've read.
How'd you like? Don't take this the wrong way. But your lady is like cold as shit. She like scares the fuck out of me. How'd you get that one?
Well, between you and me, I think it was the money.
Oh fuck.
I'm
not like
not.
bad on that front. But I'm not like great. Definitely not you.
I jest. We had met at a soiree. Well, not necessarily a children's birthday party, but not much different than what you see this evening. And we happened to notice one another from afar, and I saw her sitting there forlornly at the waiting for a beverage. So I introduced myself, and well, the rest is kind of history.
Oh, I'm like past that point. I'm just trying to like give me more than just smooches.
Well, um, he's like a little like taken off guard. Um, well, Lance, sometimes things can go slower than one would expect. Um, and then sometimes people have different thoughts about um how relationships and things should work. Some are much more open to copulating before marriage, and other times, sometimes that it happens until the sanctimony before the gods, and then only does these sorts of acts take place. Um, I can't tell you a specific way necessarily to make it happen, other than um, follow your heart, and it will happen in due time if it
So
is meant to be.
so either way, like definitely after marriage.
Um, I mean, the wedding night is a celebrated occasion across all cultures.
You know, like a good ring guy.
I'm sure I could put you in touch with a jeweler.
Sweet, that'd be awesome.
Do you mean like figuratively? Her personality is like that of a dragon. She's fierce and powerful, or
Oh,
I
yeah.
hesitate to say
No,
either.
definitely like your wife is like super like big and stuff. Not like that. Like she's gorgeous. She's just like scary.
Oh, Daniela. Uh, well, I don't know if you know much about her family's history, but it definitely takes a certain endurance to navigate the political landscape, especially in a family as large as the Slaters.
Got like a lot of cousins.
Um, yes, many siblings.
I don't think my girl has. Oh no, she. Wait. Do you have any like books on dragons so I can kill one?
Uh, no, it's not really my area of expertise, unfortunately, Lance. Um,
Like know anyone like historians
I
who are like, oh, check out this whole like dragon family lineage shit.
There are bounty hunters you could always attempt to.
Those guys are assholes.
Some of them can be, but then again, much like yourselves, kind of, you find some diamonds in the rough.
Yeah. Again, need to get a diamond on a ring, and then find somebody about killing dragons.
Just make sure you don't make any rash decisions.
Oh no, like she's totally into it. I think that marriage thing's gonna work.
Okay. It's just,
Thanks, you Dukeness.
I mean, and say that doesn't work. There's always magic potions and all. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Come on. Let starts to be like,
All right. Thanks, Dukeness. I'm gonna go find my friends.
His kind of like turns back to walks off into another conversation, like mingling with other individuals.
Yeah, go to find the rest of the party.
It's probably like, is the party winding down at this point?
Yeah.
So we'll probably just say our goodbyes and take our leave.
While they're doing that, I'm gonna go find the Duke.
Okay.
Ooh.
Easy enough. It's like a mid-conversation, like you're overhearing something about contracts and like production, and then just like it goes quiet as like the eyes go from like the group of them talking into your direction, and it's just like words kind of trail off as you stand this imposing figure.
Good evening, sir.
Can I help you with something?
Well, I was hoping that you might have a moment. Feel free to finish up. It seems like you're in the middle of something important, but
Excuse me, gentlemen. Um, please, state your mind.
it's really less about my mind per se and more about yours. I just wanted to make sure that my appearance, I suppose, being as sudden as it was, probably was quite jarring. I just wanted to
Absolutely, and not every day that you witness such a sight to behold.
I like I said, I just wanted to make sure that there was nothing residual that needed dealings or any. You didn't have any other questions of me because you have certainly shown my companions a lot of favor, and I certainly don't mean to just ride their coattails in that regard.
If you're even as half as capable as the rest of your friends, then you'll fit right in.
Well, I certainly have a skill set that mirrors theirs, if nothing else.
Well, if you're ever looking for work, I could always use more personal security. I mean, a veritable gift from the gods, if you will. Who is to look that gift horse in the mouth?
Fair enough. However, I do have an assignment, shall we say, here already.
Well, should you find yourself free, I'm sure we could accommodate.
Well, anything that you might need from me, I imagine you could ask the Breakfast Club, I believe, and you would most certainly find me with them in that regard. if But sure, a question about your unexpected guests from tonight.
I'd answer anything that I could.
Other than the fact that you are quite a wealthy and important person, as obvious.
Like mock,
Yeah, like the
yeah.
mock. Oh, stop.
Yeah, mock humbleness. Yeah.
Can you think of any other reason that people would be trying to break into your vaults? And I mean, it seemed to be quite well hidden. It's not just a standard safe, if you will.
Well, I mean, what good is a safe behind a painting when everyone knows where to look? So, yes, there are certain matters of state that are put in the vault. Generally not so as anything that important would never leave my state office. I'm sure it's nothing more than individuals looking for a quick payday. To say that this would be an irregular occurrence would be quite the downplay from the truth.
Well, I imagine that would be the case, but
as you said, it comes with the territory.
Fair enough. And it was mentioned earlier to one of my companions, and I don't know that I lack or have any more than them, but I certainly don't have the the kindled relationship to the point where I would feel the need to be particularly tactful. But why is your wife's family not in attendance tonight?
Oh, well, like he is actually like totally caught off guard with like the just abrupt like question. I don't really wish to discuss matters of my wife's estate on her behalf. If there is a question you wish to know, I would ask you to speak with her instead. It is not my place to divulge any information that could be possibly misconstrued.
I understand and appreciate your desire to.
And it's like you hear it and it's like it's such the most like politician way of like declining to comment.
I appreciate your desire to, I guess, protect your wife, but much in that I don't have significant ties, I don't have significant ability or desire to gossip. It's not particularly my endeavor. However, I certainly do not wish to make you uncomfortable, more so than I already have.
It is, if it would put your mind at ease, it's nothing more than negotiations between inheritance. Money and family seldom work without straining relationships.
Ah, yes. Money is quite well-to-do, especially when you're dealing with, shall we say, dragons.
I'm sorry, I don't follow.
No, I simply mean large, powerful entities, not unlike a family with a lot of wealth and no particular desire to separate from it.
I would prefer the term titans of industry.
Well, I have that is quite the praise. I've tangled with dragons and titans of sorts, and titans is quite the praise.
And so have I in many a boardroom, and I would hate to actually meet the real version if it's anything like what I've seen.
They make for a great story, if nothing else.
And the need for a very stiff drink.
Well, thank you for your time, sir. And if for absolutely no other reason than my lack of ability to abide in particularly polite society, let me know if there's anything that you need done that is, shall we say, of a simple matter. That way, it's not to derail the entirety of the plans of my companions, but I certainly should correct make sure that the playing field is leveled, so to speak.
If anything comes to my attention, I will be sure to seek you out.
Lovely party, sir. Have a good one.
Okay. So.
Say our goodbyes.
Okay.
I'll like give Phelan a little hug to say goodbye, and as I do,
Pat him down
kind
for
of just like
scales.
check down the back of his collar to see if I see any scales on his back.
Make a perception check.
25.
25.
Natural 20.
Okay. Like you like hug and you kind of like squeeze just a little bit so that like the back of his shirt opens up just a little bit, and you kind of like peer down. You don't see any scales. Nothing unusual, nothing untoward. Yeah, like nothing that you would deem out of the ordinary.
All right. Not convinced.
Um,
I'm gonna swipe 2 bottles of whiskey on my way out.
Do we get Cogsworth as well?
Not yet.
He still has to get like set up and reprogrammed and shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gotta. I mean, it's still gotta get like disabled for like. Cogsworth is currently disabled, but like not disconnected as of yet.
Factory reset.
Oh yeah.
That's something that I was thinking about all week. Did we find the orb that they used to mind control Codsworth?
You.
Do we know that it was an orb? Could it have just been a spell?
Yeah, because he said we came in, they were like holding an orb pointing at Codsworth, and he was like wigging out.
No. So he is the orb.
Yeah,
They
that's
were-
what I took
they
out
were.
of it. Yeah.
No, you just saw like Cogsworth acting funky, obviously like possessed somehow.
I thought one
Yeah,
of the
because you
people
said there was
there
an
had
orb in the
orb.
center of the room, and then we found out it was Cogsworth, right?
Yeah. Yeah, the orb in the center of the room that you recognize to be Cogsworth. No, I would say, given your guys' disposition with magic and them being magic users, one was like definitely not what you would classify as like an artificer, but some sort of like technomancer sort of situation.
Okay.
Or the best like representation of that in this world. What was I gonna say? Oh, right. As you're leaving, the Duke does stop you all. Just a moment, if you don't mind, my friends. I just personally, without having everyone and making a show of it, to extend my personal gratitude. This is the second time you have saved my family, through the kindness of your own hearts. So, as befitting as such, I don't quite know how to repay you.
Oh, it's cool, man. We like you, little boy.
And
You
what
have been
little
more
boy?
than generous with us since we first met. So consider us even.
You're, what was his name? Mr. Mattston. I don't know. One of the dudes said Cogsworth was ours. You're like,
He said Cogsworth was yours.
Oh, I thought it was his manservant guy.
No,
Cogsworth
it was the
is
Duke.
the man.
Oh.
Yeah, the Duke was telling you that you could just have Cogsworth
Because he was like, we're gonna have to get rid of Codsworth, and I was like, hey, if you don't want him, we'll take him.
Okay, I thought it was the dude.
so, like, with Cogsworth, we're going to put him on a ship because that's going to be badass. Have, like, any other, like, special recipes or some shit we can give him?
If you might have to be more specific. Get back to me in the morning and let me know what you come up with, and I'll see if I can make it work.
Awesome. Thanks, man. Or Dukeness.
And I'll get with my contact in Sanctuary Defense to make sure that happens.
Oh, small note.
Adam can't think of his name. Melvin?
Morrison.
Jesus.
Morrison totally helped out with making the sleds all teeny tiny, so he deserves some props too.
I will reach out and maybe we can sponsor Morrison's shop on some advertisements throughout the city.
Dude, he would fucking love that. Oh, maybe like, can we get like Breakfast Club like poster, like have flyers, but like maybe like a billboard, just like, oh, go to Morrison's. That's where we kick ass.
Absolutely, I'll make it happen.
Fuck yeah.
Harrow's just like,
That was awesome.
You head back. I assume you head back, stay in your ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay.
Get some cake to go.
Okay.
Lance starts working on a list of recipes and ingredients and stuff that he would like Cogsworth to be able to magically produce.
Okay.
I gather up the kobolds to hear about how their birthday party was, since they were basically off doing their own thing the whole time.
Were they even allowed off the ship?
Yeah, we took them with
Yeah.
us.
Oh,
Yeah.
did you?
We
Okay.
got them all dressed up and
Nothing
stuff.
thing.
They're just smeared with cake. And
That's-
and to like you, like I guess would have heard like people like talking about like the group of what people thought were children, or like some tiefling children running around in the, like through the front lawn of the palace, like screaming and chasing one another. Many hedges were destroyed, as well as many flowers were dug up. For the most part, though, like minor cobalt damage. And at this point, like they're just like chocolate cake smeared faces, and bits of frosting smeared into their tuxedos. And they have reached the state of like sugar coma, to the point where they're just completely lethargic.
I will
We'll just put them
Okay.
down to bed.
Yeah,
I'll
ready
carry
for
Pop all the
nap
way home.
naps.
Like baby carry him in my arms.
Yeah.
There's a one shot for us.
Kobolds at a party.
Yeah.
Kobolds in Paris.
Okay, they saved the party in
kobold's
another
cake
way.
My
day.
girlfriend has nothing to do with
Yeah.
this.
Figure out how they were actually the ones responsible for like breaking the getaway driver's car.
Yeah. The kobold cake heist.
Mhm.
Turns out they were gonna steal the cake until
They're
we
the
showed
reason
up.
why the cake wasn't there in the first place.
Kobold's big day.
That would be an amazing one, actually.
Okay, so I guess with that,
As soon as we get back to the ship, Harrow's popping that lantern out and doing a full once over.
just all over the place.
Everywhere, top to bottom, whatever
alright.
she misses, she'll do the next day.
Okay. You're pretty thorough. Nothing out of the ordinary catches your attention?
Nothing. Okay.
And you're not certain if like that's more concerning or not.
Don't like it. And then part of that, I'm going to use it on Levi too.
Okay.
Just like make sure he's in the line when I do a pass of a spot.
A little sweep. Don't see anything.
Okay.
Like everything's as it should be.
It just makes Harrow more suspicious.
Sorry, I missed that. Was that me? Who's now more suspicious?
No,
Okay.
yeah, no, not you. Okay. You all go to bed for the evening.
I would like to go after, depending on how long it takes Harrow to make her passes of the ship. I'll either chat with her first, or I'll
Sure.
It's
Just-
about 10 minutes.
just want to follow up to see if she's had any luck with her coin-based endeavors.
I haven't even had a chance to start it.
It has been a whirlwind day and a half, so but it seemed quite intriguing to you and Morrison, I think was his name, right? The defense.
Well, he's a magician sponsor. What? good friend of us, so at least Lance.
Ah.
But no, it's fascinating what it could do. And imagine, like, you still have that platinum, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's the currency I have been using for quite some time.
Be curious to, like, what I want to do is, like, make a bullet with it. And then, like, what if you could, like, put that on your sword, or, like, what kind of effects it would do in certain creatures? It's
Well,
versatile.
I mean, my sword is already special in that regard. But I mean, there's some interesting properties to be made with it as ammunition, I would expect. However, it seems as if I can't imagine you'd get much more than enough coating to make a round or two out of one coin. But
Yeah.
maybe they can be enchanted with like a returning
That should
property
help.
or something.
Does that help?
It's very lovely. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Okay,
Thank you, voice in the sky.
all right. Well, love your dad. So you can.
This is about to be your life, Kyle.
Yep.
I think that will about cover it for that. Just kind of
Okay.
curious about the ammunition making process. Would you two stop? Go to bed. You two, Atlas, go to bed. Go. Go bed.
Yes, go ahead.
Everyone wants attention now.
Get the bug off my foot.
Just turned into a madhouse.
Yes.
Okay, so
But you go, he'll follow you.
Well, he was sitting on my foot. I couldn't move. He was sitting on my foot and leaned against.
okay, so
Can I go that way? I can't go. If
bed
you
down
can't
for this
go.
evening or for the evening.
Go back.
Nope, I need to go pray.
Yeah, oh, you need to go pray.
Yep. Gotta go find out if what exactly I need to do with Gary.
Okay.
I'll go find like a spot, like I guess near the bow of the ship, but not super close to the edge, because like I'm not okay with.
Yeah, it's a pretty far drop. It's still a pretty far drop. There's no water. Like you're just over like grass. So yeah.
Did not spend a lot of time on zeppelins in my day, and kind of like just catching myself. I haven't had to do this in quite some time, and lay my sword out, kind of on the on a cloth in front of me, and just kind of kneel and like hover over it, and just kind of wait and see if I feel anything. Kind of wait for that connection to establish to see if it does, and looking to talk to. I think her name was Seraphis. I have to look at our DMs to get it again, but
I believe it's cereal.
Cereal.
Yeah. Yeah, cereal. I would say there's like it's probably your best like form of communicating, like if it is going to happen.
I'll just kind of quietly to myself. So for how long am I supposed to follow his antics? I mean, at a certain point, do I just need to remove him from this situation, or are we playing the long game here of sorts?
I would say that disembodied voice kind of like establishes like comes through into your mind. Oh well, Antonius, we leave that up to your judgment. However, time is probably of the essence.
So does that mean I would need to check in with with Torgoth to see how their progress is and see the direness of the situation.
Well, from the other reports that we're getting, it is becoming quite a dire situation.
And well, how much does dealing with the Draco Lich in their plans impact the situation in the hills?
If the Draco Lich becomes a concern, then dispatch him.
But currently, the Draco Lich is not of concern for the situation in the hills. So I thought its tomb was in hell.
No, that's Tiamat's tomb.
Oh.
Currently, I guess you would know that the Draco Lich is there. Would you have mentioned this to Suriel? That like about this Draco Lich.
I guess probably tonight.
Well, this is the first that I'm hearing about this, Antinia.
Well, there's a lot of cards on the field, so to speak. There's a lot of dragons around suddenly. There's more
That
dragons
has
now.
nothing to do with you keeping secrets.
Well, we hadn't spoken before tonight since you sent me back, which has barely been 36 hours at this point.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you haven't said anything in your reports, checking in, you are our eyes and ears.
My apologies. I will be sure to be more thorough and prompt with my reports.
Do. And I don't think I need to tell you this. I mean, given your history. But if the participant finds himself unwilling, you are capable of making the judgment to make him willing.
I understand.
The ends justify the means.
As they have, and as they will. I will be sure to update you if I learn any more about this Draco Lich. And I suppose if you could look into something for me, it might help expedite the process with the Lord of Hell.
If we are able, state your request.
He is quite convinced that the Duchess of this area is a dragon, and he seems to be desiring to implore her assistance in a draconic capacity to deal with the Draco Lich. I'm not sure if anyone knows particularly much of the locations of dragons, especially ones powerful enough to shapeshift in current time.
I don't think you should worry about such notions. These are not imperative to your overall role in these happenings. So do not concern yourselves with such.
Gods and politicians.
Good night, Antonius. And you just connection servers.
It's kind of to myself, well, maybe he's on to something.
anything else anybody wants to do before we move on?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay. You all awake the next day, and for once in a few weeks, there's not really anything on the agenda. So, well, what would you guys like to do?
I mean, there's a bunch of things and threads we can pull. Do we want to do that now, or do we want to wait?
I head down to the docks as soon as I wake up.
Okay.
Along the lines, I grab a piece of parchment and scroll looking for John and just hold it up as I walk around.
Okay. Mini Johns, of various shapes, sizes, all approach you, asking what you need.
I guess, I don't really remember, but somebody said I needed somebody to do something for them, to go somewhere for some platinum. And if you need something, that's going to pay me a bunch of platinum.
Most of these people that come to you on the docks are like either dock hands or merchants. Definitely look like the type that probably do not be paying out the large sums of money that you like remember to be promised.
As each one of them says no and starts walking away, I'll pass out our flyers.
If you hear anything, let me know.
Okay. So it basically turns into a like a dead end as far as looking for John from the port goes, and then just turns into I'm gonna hand out flyers.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I will go find the rest of the group that's still on the ship and kind of see if there's any more information to be gained about the Draco Lich.
Sorry, Becca's computer's fucked up, so she was asking me for help. Did we get a long night's rest?
You did.
Okay.
I mean, we don't really know where it is, but we know it's pissed at us.
And have there been any reports or any information about what it is doing, or simply that it is awoken?
I think the last time we heard it was in hell.
Well, it is not a
We're
concern
assuming
in
that it is.
hell. For that, of that I am sure. The current situation in hell is quite dire, but not necessarily related to that. The largest concern in hell will still be Tiamat's tomb in regards to a dragon situation. Obviously, the big problem in hell is the ongoing war, and it's not going particularly well. Kind of more of a stalemate of sorts, if anything.
I would say, actually, from your perspective, and I guess like to give you a little bit of a little bit more knowledge about that, because you would actually know this. So things have, like, at least in your time there, have been getting worse. Just like there is an oppressive amount of like demonic influence that is just pouring across that barrier. Because of which, like, surprisingly, not even the devils are able to keep up with it. And then, like, with the recent change of leadership that came, you know, like prior to these events transpiring, it has made it worse. Like they're like you have watched like the what's it called? Like the armies of the devils just like absolutely routed and eradicated, like bad, like from bad like military decision, just like over and over. So it's like a constant losing of ground. Like it's not even like oh, this is kind of bad. Like it's like serious and getting worse to the point where, you know, the individuals that you were working with were attempting to like find some way to um like I don't know, keep it from getting like completely overrun. You know, and it was like you were there like trying to assist. And it kind of broke off from like the like I guess like the best way to put it is that like you're part of like a kind of like splinter rebel group sort of thing that's been going around like trying to sabotage and everything, like basically a bunch of individuals that like broke off from the military, like the military forces of hell, because things were so bad. So it's like we can do better on our own. We can, you know, we this is our territory. Let's, you know, try to fight. So you have been assisting them in that regard, and it's definitely been like watching from the outside, even with, you know, trying to garner some extra support, like bolster your own ranks. It's almost like a little mini military coup has taken place. And I mean, quite honestly, Balfagor has been like in regards to a lot of individuals completely ineffective at dealing with the severity of the onslaught from the demonic forces, and it shows, to the point where people are like, you know, think that it's not just ineptitude at this point. They think it's malicious, which, you know, like public opinion about things is really poor. But like last you were aware, they're like the like main demonic force is pushing towards like the capital of Avern, like, you know, they are pushing towards the capital of hell itself.
I will rescind my earlier statement and relay that to the group.
Yeah. And it's like the only kind of like thing was, though, is that despite that, despite all of this happening, and as bleak as it looked, the fact that like now, you know, there is an heir that still lives is, you know, kind of like a surprise, and that's why everyone is so like, at least in that camp, is so rallied behind the thought of, you know, we might actually have a chance here, in turning this around, or that like things can't get worse, right? Like it won't actually ever be true. So that's kind of like where I would say Antonius's objective was, like, you know, you can see where the change happens is now that you know that an heir of Asmodeus lives, it becomes priority to protect that individual, sort of thing. So despite what happens, but it's still like priority number one, get him back. You know, like he needs to, you know, return to his rightful place. Yeah. And it's also like Balfagor himself, you like you would know enough, like being there, um is blamed for these events because he is responsible for the military coup that took place that overthrew basically what amounts to the rest of Gary's family. So just a little bit of history kind of thing to help kind of frame that a little better.
So is your goal just going to be to get Gary back to hell?
I mean, ultimately, it's the only thing that is going to keep hell from falling. As once they dispatch, uh, honestly, I'm not sure for how much longer the forces will hold out, even with the kind of rekindled fire, so to speak, due to the discovery of another heir of Asmodeus, with Balfagor proving incompetent to the point of malice. Ultimately, he if he fails to return, the the plains of hell will fall, and after that, the mortal plane will certainly be on the list, as well as the celestial plane, and eventually there will be nothing but the abyss. But I know he is, well, at least apparently, it does not appear that he has quite yet rekindled his interdemon devil lordship, so to speak.
Alright. I feel like we've got two really big things. Or like three really big things. There's the government, and then there's this whole Queen of Chaos, and hell.
Realistically, there is only one really big thing, because without hell, if hell falls, then the rest of those things that you have listed as your no, not to take myself outside of this, but the concerns of for you on the mortal plane, they will matter little, as in they will, because they won't. Once hell has gone, there will hell is going to be the first domino in a line of total eradication of everything that's not the abyss.
Hard to imagine that hell is really that important.
It's kind of the intermediary, so to speak. It directly borders the abyss as far as the planes go, and they've kind of always had a truce, I guess, of sorts.
The abyss and hell.
Yes.
No, that
No.
is millennia long war that has been
Okay.
going on. Yeah, it is constant fighting between the two. But the difference is generally hell is better equipped to deal with. Despite the quite literal limitless amounts of demons that reside in the infinite abyss.
Sorry, not truce, but stalemate of sorts. I mean,
Yeah, much more
the
of a stalemate.
hells, yeah, the hells have traditionally held the line, so to speak. But that is a conflict as old as time.
Interesting. So, is that what we're doing next? Because I know Levi was about to get court-martialed, and he thinks he can run off and deal with that on his own.
Well, somehow I feel as if you, at least simply you, if not everybody from the Breakfast Club, will not let him do that alone.
Yeah.
Antonius, make an intelligence check.
Oh God, but I'm dumb. 14.
14. Harrow, you can make one as well, since you're a part of this conversation.
Oh, I rolled a 5.
For a total of 5.
5.
Antonius, I mean, your strength is definitely your greatest attribute. But there is a nagging question. And the question that you keep telling Harrow this, you believe it, you know it. Yet somehow that nagging question of how keeps like coming back into the back of your mind.
And is that how I know this, like the stuff we're talking
No,
about, or
no. This question is like in simplistic terms. It's the how of it. And the question really becomes, if the Nine Hells are about to succumb to the hordes of demonic invasion, what good does it do to send, I mean, you've seen Gary, to send Gary into that? What does it do? What does it accomplish? What does it stop? How does it fix the problem? And there is something like inherently about that question that doesn't add up.
can I juxtapose that some with what I saw happen in that conflict? I forget where it was, but when we were losing that large scale battle, and Siegfried's speech kind of rallied the troops, type of thing, or is it just kind
Yeah.
of the scale here is too much?
No. That's. I mean, there's like, yeah. No, that's definitely fair. That's a valid argument.
Or maybe that's why I buy that he could be that important.
That's why
at
you
least.
buy it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or that's the reason that you use to like snuff that question out when it, like, as it crops up.
And in my head, because I clearly couldn't say this out loud, like the kind of more doubt has to be is like, if it was this big of a deal, you think that the Celestia would be more involved. Obviously, couldn't say that out loud because that'd be big bad. But
Yeah, like there are a couple lingering questions. It's like, why is it just like, I mean, from what you heard from Serial last night, like, at least on this, it's just you. Like, if he's so
Yeah.
important, like, they want him from Gary's own mouth. They apparently, all demons want him dead. Why is it just you? Like, why isn't there a horde of angels like protecting him? Like,
not to mention, she said I could kill him if I need to.
did she?
That was implied.
Uh,
The ends justify the means tends to mean murder.
No, it was more of like, whatever you. It's more to clarify what she meant by that, and you would know this. Is that just so there's no confusion in the meaning of that?
I don't kill Gary.
It's whatever you need to
Don't kill
do
Gary.
to get him there. Yeah, like whether he goes willing or not, it like you need him. Like they need him there.
But the
Like
big-
whether he wants to go or not, like your mission is basically get him there. At the moment, you're trying the carrot, but like Serial is implying, if it comes to, use the stick.
However, I am not particularly sure how
Gary,
to
don't kill Gary.
how to get Gary.
Yeah,
to
and that's
state
like
where
another
he is
thing. Like,
not him currently, and more a lord.
Yeah.
The Lord of Hell. It's
like they like Celestia, Serial seems impatient. They want it done now. You're sitting here, well, it's like, well, time is a little bit different here, you know, and you recognize that. Being there, being in Celestia, being on the material plane, time moves differently in all of those areas. So it's like, you can understand, like, you can understand their impatience. But it's like, you're also like the one doing this. So there is still like, but then, no, like, you find that reason, like, no, he'll, give a great rallying speech, everything will be fine, just like Siegfried. You push those thoughts away. Like, whatever doubt there is, drown it. It's like, and it's the fact is like, why are you even doubting this?
If you had him in hell originally, why did you let him walk away?
in that state then, and still the state he is in now. He is
not exactly what they need. Obviously, his presence will rally the forces that are in his camp, and I imagine that with the current issues of Balfagor, that it would be impressed upon more peoples now if he were to return. But I mean, currently he is not. I mean, you don't think that you travel in a party with the Lord of Hell, do you?
No. But what would change that?
I mean, think of Torgath and then a creature multiplicatively more powerful than him. I mean, Torgath is quite formidable despite my intolerance of him.
Well, I mean, Gary has grown in the amount of time that we've known him. I
Yes,
would say that we've all grown in the same way.
of course, but in that same regard, none of you would deign yourself a deity, right?
No.
And not to say that the lords of hell are deities by any means, but they're adjacent at least. They're very powerful creatures.
Alright.
And certainly Gary is powerful in his rights, but not in that same way.
Are you expecting him to be as ruthless as Torgoth?
Honestly, he would need to be much more. It's not a matter of correcting an issue so much as a need for him to essentially eradicate all of the dissenters and reestablish the presence at the planar border, and I can only imagine how long and ruthless and bloody that conflict will be.
He won't be Gary by then.
Well, ultimately, he's not Gary now.
Who's to say that?
Well, Gary is simply a look at it from the perspective of how he views the Duchess with her being a dragon. If Gary, as you know him, is simply the human form of that dragon.
I would still say that he is himself.
He's perhaps a piece of himself. I mean, that's not to say that
Next time you go downstairs, you just toss that back for me.
all devils are the entirety of what makes a devil is purely malicious, but it's certainly not nearly as wanton as Gary is currently. And I mean, Gary's not a lamb by any means. He bumbles through it, but still finds a way of taking what he wants.
That he's probably the best one of us.
Well,
I think it's a shame that you want to stop that.
well, ultimately, it's either we find a way to have him ascend, so to speak, to his actual abilities, or everything that you have ever known ceases to exist.
Maybe he could do it the way he is now.
I'm sure in some capacity. I mean, we were clearly successful previously in dealing with that munitions factory, but now we are talking on a scale of multiple of those at once, with all types of decisions needing to be made, and not all of which will end in a way that Gary, as he is currently, would be happy with.
I was gonna grab the lantern and turn it on Gary.
Okay, it just looks like Gary.
See? Do you see anything hidden in there? He's himself.
Is Gary like? So I assume you have this conversation, then go find Gary and turn the
Yeah.
lamp on. Okay. Otherwise, you guys just having this real existential conversation about
About Gary in front of
who
Gary.
Gary is in front of Gary. Yeah, like, or like you're just having this conversation about Gary, even though like he's not even there, even though he is.
No, I'm still in my room doing my own thing.
Okay. Door busts
In the
open and
morning.
they like the lantern is shining from Harrow onto you.
Oh, if the door busts in, they're coming in onto a real weird sight.
Harrow's used
I'm
to it at this
laying
point.
on the ground, butt ass naked, fully erect, with 2 poker chips over my eyes, casting legend lore on the Duchess.
And she says that, he's just Gary. I'm like, quite.
You're interrupting something.
It's not an interruption if you can't see us.
And I'll kind of look at her. I'm like, I'm not saying that this isn't who he is. It's just not all that he is.
And I thought this thing had true sight that would show you stuff that's not there. And all I see is just Gary. Doing Gary things. Like, oh,
You don't think
maybe
this
this
type
is what hell needs.
of yes,
maybe
you
they
don't
do
think
need to
this
walk
is the type
towards
of deviant behavior that a devil would engage in?
It's not murdering a bunch of people.
I'm not.
What
I
he
mean,
does in his own room is his choice.
you have murdered lots of people.
And
I have murdered lots of people. I have murdered more people than anybody else on this ship, except for maybe Gary. Granted, we don't call it murder, but yeah, we have certainly all slain numerable foes.
I didn't realize we had a tally, Antinius.
I don't know that I could count that high anymore.
Well, maybe we should start over at 0, and then by the end of this, we'll see who has the most.
I imagine that you probably kill more people than Gary. Do you wish to ascend to the throne of hell?
No, absolutely not. Torgoth, he might work.
Torgoth is at the end of the day a follower. We have seen what happens when someone not equipped to handle that workload has ascended the throne, and they've undone millennia of what has been done, and almost what would be in the actual span of history be no time at all.
Okay, Gary.
So when I cast this spell,
Uh-huh.
I'm not naming the target.
Okay. Uh-huh.
I'm using a description of Daniela Slater based
Okay.
on like my personal interactions with her, not naming Daniela Slater as the target. I want to know about the entity that I know as Daniela Slater.
This is about to get juicy.
Okay. You want to know about the entity that is Daniela Slater.
Kyle's about to politician you.
Yup. The look on his face says it all.
You only get one word. Ildera.
Sounds like she's a sibling of Zydak.
As in Ildarian Ildera, right?
Yldera.
Yldera.
Maybe.
That's not how I would have spelled that at all.
Could also be spelled Ildera. It's hard to know.
Yldera.
Mhm.
So did
Or
Ildera.
IL''dera.
You guys
So
like
did-
having your conversation while I'm casting this spell? Just see Gary like give out a little gasp.
And
don't
then as
wanna
you
know.
focus on it more, and you try to hold on to that intangibleness, the more certain you are that there is a brief pause, and it is Ildera. Not Ildera, but Ildera.
So ILD.
IL''dera.
And Zydak went over the naming conventions of dragons.
Depends on. I mean, for her name, dragon culture is unusual, and there's not a lot that's known about it.
Like, Harrow hears the gasp and is like, that's our cue to leave. And then just.
You just see like a little string of D6s pop out of my butt. I just like rush out into the hallway following them.
Naked with a boner.
Oh no, that's gone now. It's like full on fear softy. Ildera. Her name is Ildera. I didn't get anything else. She's
What?
definitely a fucking dragon.
Wait. Slow down. Start over.
Which part did you miss?
Who?
Danielle Slater.
How'd you know?
Because I did magic to find out.
Okay. You sure that's her name?
I'm pretty sure that's her name. Unless God lied to me.
Okay, fine.
Well,
That sounds a lot like Ildera.
how exactly does the devil pray to God?
I don't know. We're still trying to figure it out. It's awkward for everyone involved, okay? But yeah.
Look, I wasn't
totally
going to say
asked.
anything because I didn't really want to fuel this. Well, it's not really a delusion anymore. But I don't know that pressing on this is good for us. And that is, I suppose, how I should phrase it.
We're gonna be really pissed once Fezziwig starts spreading that she's a dragon, and it comes back to you, and then you asked her that she was a dragon.
We've got to kill Keswick.
I offered that
I'm
already.
pretty
We're
sure the
past killing
damage-
him.
The
You're
damage is
pretty
already
certain,
done.
yeah, that the like 24 hours have passed. The damage is done.
We kill Keswick and we make it look like a demon did it.
No.
And then
Why
they'll
can't
think
we
she's
just
a
make it
demon.
look like a devil did it, and you do it because you are a devil?
I'm not that kind of devil.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
There's only one kind of devil.
You're not my real mom.
You're right. You were born of fucking fire and brimstone or
I walk
Uh,
back
dirty
into my
gym
room and
socks
throw
or
on
something.
my bathrobe.
Okay. You hear the sound of thudding footsteps outside. Distant. You can hear it, like, you hear it through the ship.
He's coming.
Okay.
She's here.
Like,
She's
and you
coming.
feel
She's gonna kill us.
you feel the vibration, just barely, like all the way up on the sky dock, but like you feel like just a slight little vibration, and
Hair.
then you hear like shouting.
Guns
Uh,
out. Head out.
And then just a point of I would have changed this morning
There
back into my armor.
is chaos in the courtyard.
I'm just in my room scrawling teleportation circle.
uh, Harrow, as you go up to the deck of the ship.
Yeah, like, see what's going on.
Massive fireball. You die. The ship explodes. You're all dead. You learn the dark secret, and now you die. No, you look out into the courtyard below and beyond. Beyond where the stables or the garage are, and out into the main area. You see a whole like troop of guards like rushing in towards the palace. And you watch them kind of spread out. You watched this happen yesterday. Like, you watched this same maneuver when you told the guards that there was somebody attacking the palace. And you also see, like, as all this commotion is happening, maybe about 30 seconds go by, and then you see somebody fly in, just like winged boots, like in, hovering above the air, and the guards are like shouting and waving, and a tarp is pulled, like something is like finished being pulled out of the bushes, and a tarp is thrown over it, and there's a reporter like hovering in the air with his winged boots, like scribbling something on paper.
I'll head up there when I hear all the shouting.
Guys, there's something going on at the palace.
And Harrow, like the yellow tarp, and you just like, somebody's dead. Like, your immediate reaction is, this is like standard response, somebody is dead.
Guys, someone died. Out in the
Harry!
bushes over there.
Hey,
Yes.
check on
Start
his
heading
Dukeness.
over there.
Hit.
Gonna,
I'll
like,
grab my bag.
quietly to
At the
myself, like
bikes.
kind of think, but like out loud, like think it's the Duke. Just kind of.
Start throwing on my
Gary's just like, what did I do? What did I do?
like throwing on my armor, but not like I've got the chalk in my mouth for the teleportation circle as I'm doing it, like as quickly as I can,
Okay.
and just rush out.
Yeah, I'll run
Okay.
downstairs and grab all my shit.
Down. Yeah, take the little elevator back down, like down to the floor. There is a bunch of commotion. There is that fear and that worry. Like, just scenarios start playing in each of your heads. You see off to the side another guard. Probably one that you've seen, patrolling the grounds by now. You're like, probably don't know anybody's names, but you're familiar enough with the faces of like who the palace guards are around, at the Porcelain Palace. Kind of standing off to the side. Looks like he's being questioned by a bunch of people, and then there is a figure covered under tarp. Kind of next to the bushes as you run out, and there's like a few heads kind of like turn in your direction. Before one of the other like RSB agents comes up. Oh, well, not good, Dave. Good, no, morning. We'll just say morning. just standard procedure. You wouldn't mind. I will need to take some statements from all of you.
What?
Dude, what the fuck's going on?
Well, it begins like asking you questions. Where were you? Who
Alright,
were you
shut the
with
fuck
at the
up.
party?
What the fuck is going
Yeah.
on?
These are just routine
Don't
questions.
give a fuck about routine. Who's your boss? And what the fuck's going on?
I am the lead investigator. My name is
I'm gonna
Alexi.
smolder.
Make an intimidation check.
Can I assist him with this?
Sure.
Bill's
Ooh.
just like, I am an officer.
Smolder does.
And just starts questioning her.
Yeah. So that is three. Oh wait. I can use my strength for that, right?
You could like flex, I guess.
Yeah. Alright, so that's going to be 18 plus 8, 26.
26. Okay. Um.
And then with Beefcake Paladin behind me, so extra intimidation.
Okay. Oh yeah. What's that? I'll answer some of your questions. Just please, please. I really must insist. I'm just trying to do my job. Your friends of the Duke and the Duchess. I can assure you they're fine.
Okay, that's good.
What about their son?
Yes, he is also fine. This is in regards to a Lucia Simon.
What?
I don't know who that person is.
Why would he get eaten?
And are you familiar with this woman?
The woman?
Wait, that's a chick? Isn't Lucius a dude's name?
Lucia, not Lucius or whatever.
Wasn't she seen with the minister walking away?
With the gnome guy?
Do you happen to have a name that corroborates
The Minister of Defense. Or Internal Security, or the RSB guy.
Oh, is that the dude that fucking Levi was talking to?
Yeah.
Oh, he's kind of a dick.
I'd have it on. You didn't leave your ship for any reason after the party concluded, and you were where in the party? The Duke said that you were with him, Phelan, and Daniela most of the night. Is that correct?
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
totally
the
stop some
entire
like
time.
bad
Went to go pick
guys.
up the cake,
So
and then
he comes over, kind of like pushes some of the guards out of the way and pulls back the tarp. Harrow, you recognize this figure. This is the same attendant that you had seen Robert Cowler speak to before he, and both her disappeared. As he pulls the tarp back, you see a sunken figure. The flesh is, sucked deep, taut, gray, pale and ashen white, to the point where you can see every vein throughout the body, jutting through the skin, blackened. And two very important bite marks on the neck.
Oh shit, we got a giant spider.
I'm going to make a
There's
point
things
to look
I know.
everywhere but at Levi.
It's not. Damn it! Sasha knows it's not Levi.
But does
Pharaoh doesn't
Levi
know.
know it's not Levi?
Yeah.
Levi wasn't here tonight. What did Levi do?
Kyle, you can make me roll for deception. I was totally trying to not point towards Levi by saying it's a giant spider.
I don't. um. Sure. Go ahead.
You don't have to. I'm just
Oh.
saying that was my intention.
I mean, that's true. Well, if that was your intention, that would be deception. So, rather than just, I mean, it could just be Lance being Lance. Who knows? But if your specific intent was to deceive,
12.
because of the chaos of the situation unfolding, it doesn't look like Alexi notices your like it doesn't seem like it registers. More of the fact that it's just like possibly, you know, in your experience as flips the notebook adventurers, have you seen anything like this in your travels?
Oh yeah, seen a ton of shit like this.
No, we've never
We-
seen anything like this. This is horrible. It's
Oh,
awful. Why would
And
anybody? And I just look at look at Harrow and I just kind of nod towards Levi.
Oh,
Why
this
would
time,
anybody
oh,
do something like
The
that?
whole time we
Alexi
rescued.
noted this time with the amount of motioning and fidgeting that takes place in that instant.
I have a
Alexi
question
notices.
real quick before that.
So
I don't think I know that Levi's a vampire.
You do not.
Have I dealt with a vampire? Would you say in the interim?
Wait.
Where
Yesterday, you popped Divine Sense. You would have gotten an undead ping nearby.
yeah, that makes him undead though, not a vampire. I think I already knew he was undead
Yeah,
Before.
I think they said something.
from when it was in
to-
hell. I think I did it in
Yeah.
hell as well. But have I seen a vampire before this? Like,
Have you
there's something's wrong with
seen a
Levi, but
vampire?
I mean, there's
I don't-
however much time has passed. Like, can I just hand wave vampire at this while they're trying to get their story straight without realizing that Levi's a
guess-
vampire?
I guess in because we don't know really what adventures Antinius took, go ahead and make a survival check. Or a medicine check, your choice.
Dude, that big ass snake that we rescued Phelan from totally had fangs like that.
17 for a medicine check.
I would say this specific instance does, whether or not you have encountered this because you have fought one, or because you have read about it or heard about it or have seen it, this definitely appears to be vampiric in nature.
It's like, well, they're totally oblivious to the fact whatever they're doing and stuff, just be like, yeah, vampire. Like talking to the investigator guy. It's like a vampire attack.
I did see her. And the last person I saw her serving and talking to was Robert Calla.
Let's see, does she know? She does. Okay. The governor of Varinsky, if my notes here are correct.
Yes.
Right.
And
I mean, she was seen from the Duke's report and other, was seen with a multitude of individuals.
I'm just saying,
We will.
I had been talking to Robert beforehand, and he left with a very upset stomach and talked to her and left. And then I couldn't find her afterwards.
we will. She makes a note.
And I mean, you have heard the rumors about him. He was the former governor of Lestat. You all know what happened to
Minister.
Lestat.
He was one of the
Minister.
ministers. Yeah. It was like one of the like ruling body of the city.
Okay, I'm happy to like sit and answer any questions you have, but I'm gonna go make sure that my friends are safe. And if you want to arrest me for it, then go for it. I'm just gonna beeline it for the
Yeah.
palace.
I mean, it was concerning, and then with the information that it is given, Alexei kind of like stops regarding you like so intently. Watch as you walk away,
I'm going with
like
Gary.
just looking for watch as both of you walk away for like any weird movements or talking or anything. Like you can feel the eyes boring into the back of your head, and there are like other RSB agents there that are also like taking notes, writing things down, just like observing like standard investigative sort of work being taken place. You look up because you hear like the sounds of like flies buzzing, like bzz, and you look up and there are at least a dozen reporters kind of like flying with their little winged boots, just scribbling on notepads.
It's got to get super irritating.
And you see one with like this little thing, and it almost looks like dome shaped, kind of like pointing in your direction.
As I walk by, I'm just
with
gonna
another
cast
rock
daylight
like
on the body.
Okay. What does that do? Super bright light, right?
Mhm.
Okay, everybody has to like cover their eyes, and there's a lot of shouting and asking you to put it away.
And I just walk into the castle.
Okay. Some of the individuals, they do put the tarp back over, and the light goes away eventually. Before you, like, as you're heading back inside, they just cover it back up with the tarp, and then it just, you can see out of the corner of your eye, like, the light go away.
Yeah, it still lasts for an hour.
Yeah.
I don't know, hold on
Anybody,
to
like,
reporters,
kind of like if somebody pulls up the tarp, just, okay, we'll just wait. Let's get, like, they start, like, making preparations to, like, move the corpse.
We'll follow after.
Okay. You can see, like, at least Daniela and Norin in, like, the main, like, central area, like the central living area of this place. Standing about talking with people. There are aides and various figures of just like standard business that you've seen, like an attendance of just like the house, kind of milling about, either getting asked questions or kind of one by one, kind of running through the list. You can hear overhear the conversation of like the guest lists, being passed out, like things like that. Like everything is being taken note, everything is being recorded.
Telepathically to Gary. Do we want to address this with her now or later?
I want to know what the fuck is going on.
About
Show up for a kid's birthday party and there's a bunch of fucking dragons and vampires and shit.
Oh my.
And fucking robbers.
I don't.
Robbers and dragons and vampires. Oh my.
I don't think it was Levi.
It wasn't me, guys.
Did you do this, Levi?
What?
I didn't even think about that. Fuck. Dude, did you like turn feral?
What?
You just said Levi did it. I told that dude it was a snake.
Oh, that was
Hey, quick.
That was telepathically.
Oh,
Zone of
my
truth
bad.
him.
Antinous,
Antinous.
do your little zone of truth thing.
What? You don't believe your friend that he didn't commit a murder?
I don't know. He like might
My
like
friend's
a rampage or
vampire
something.
and does like all kinds of weird shit when he doesn't realize it.
No,
So he
seriously.
can't lie
Ooh,
If
or
he
for his own
doesn't-
benefit.
something
If
to
he
like
doesn't
control
know
him.
he did it, him saying he didn't do it wouldn't be a lie.
It would definitely still be a lie.
He doesn't
So-
know
Really?
he did it.
I really find it funny that the week that Obi decided to miss a session is the week that he gets implicated in a murder, and he's not here to defend himself.
So, Gary, hold on. Last night, when we were talking to that gnome, Keswick, and Roberts was there, and you mentioned the rogue. You mentioned the thief's name, and it was Roberts who had the reaction. And he walked away super quick, and he talked to that girl, and now that girl's dead. Because I kept tabs on them for that reason, because it was weird behavior.
Yeah, but didn't they say that, like, okay, we need to ask the
It's
Duke
not
about
Levi.
this, because he, like,
It's-
vouched for that guy,
And
and, like,
okay,
they're, like, secret plotters against the government together.
no, he turned him in. I don't think it was Levi. I did the whole lamp.
I mean, I don't think that Levi was all of a sudden just like, I want to drain somebody's blood, but Levi does weird shit sometimes.
And it happened to be the same girl that was acting super suspicious.
I don't know.
That's a
Maybe that
massive
girl was, like, working
coincidence.
for the other guy that, like, tried to give him the ring and stuff.
That's a massive coincidence.
Of course it is, but so is, like, the mayor from another town that is, like, a friend of the guy that we know happens to be a vampire. Like, we know of one vampire already. What are the chances there are just 2 random vampires at a kid's birthday party?
It was really a vampire party, and the kids were
Anything-
invited.
I don't know.
So point of order. Something was just said that was incorrect. And I want to clarify. She wasn't acting suspicious. He, you remember, to be kind of
Yeah.
like pale and sweaty, excused himself. The last you saw, he was speaking to this attendant. This attendant had just been working the party, to the best of your recollection that you had
Mhm.
seen.
Still, it was weird.
I mean, sure, but lots of things about last night were weird. We can go ask the Duke. Be like, hey, is your friend a vampire? Also, did he eat this person?
That's a bad way of, like, you're scared about Daniela and how you approach that situation. You want to do it again?
Well, it turned out to work
That's
pretty
a-
well, because now we know she's a fucking dragon.
I wouldn't say it worked out pretty well.
You guys are just like over there in the corner whispering, like to yourselves.
Yeah, we're just like in
This
the
is,
hallway
like,
having a little powwow.
Telepathically. Like, Harrow's just telepathically talking to him, just like boring, like, eyeballs at him.
So a really strange exchange of just like staring intently at one another, and no words are being spoken.
Maybe a bad idea to talk to her.
Why? She's been super cool up till now. And it's
Like,
not like,
you just blew her cover that she's a dragon. To literally
okay, that
everyone.
was an accident. We didn't know she was a dragon when I said that. Plus,
And
she
it
was being,
wouldn't have-
like, the guy said that
dragons
she
been
was a demon.
awful.
That's way worse. Okay?
But it wasn't the truth.
But for all I knew, she wasn't a dragon at the time.
Right?
Plus,
Maybe,
we don't have to necessarily say that part.
maybe she's. It could be beneficial if she's friends, or no, she's not friends, but maybe she's related to Zydak.
She's Ildaria.
I know. That's why I think she's related.
That's like daughter or granddaughter or great-granddaughter of Ildarian.
Exactly. I'm on board
That's
with
like
that
really
part.
good because we need someone from Ildarian's bloodline to like remake the Dragonstone or whatever.
Yeah. I know, it's a good thing. Do we want to do that today?
Well, are we gonna be hanging out at the Duke's castle for that much longer?
I guess not.
On this, the day of my son's birthday.
Right. But you gotta be real smooth about asking for it.
I'm not gonna ask for anything. I'm gonna be like, hey, do you want to try to like end the world or save the world?
Yeah, but you can't do that in front of the Duke. You have to be like, hey, we have a business proposition or
He
something for you.
knows.
I don't think he does.
Of course he does.
I don't think he does. Do you want to even try it on the off chance that he doesn't know? Because that could, like, put us in a worse position.
All right,
better
we're
to be
gonna
cautious.
use my super suave conversational skills and intuition to figure this out on the fly. That's the plan.
That doesn't work out
Because
most of the
that's
time.
always worked.
What if we just, like, have a private meeting with her later? Could send a message spell.
How's
Alright.
our friend and he's married to a dragon? He deserves to know. And I storm off to find the Duke.
That's a
I
bad
mean,
idea.
he's just like right there because he's dealing with an
Sitting
onslaught.
there watching us stare at each other the whole time.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like you guys like bust in the door, then stop in the middle of like the foyer and then start like having an invisible conversation, which like everyone can see like the head movements and like the facial expressions. Like it's not like your guys' faces and like expressions stop working. Like it still happens even though you're having this conversation, but there's just no words. So everyone is just watching like this mimed conversation play out, and literally everyone is just like by the time you finish and like turn to address everyone, everyone is watching you.
Hi.
Ah, well, quite the morning we're having.
Yeah.
Good to see everyone's safe and
So-
sound.
About the murder.
Yeah.
Any clues?
None at the moment. At least as far as the investigators are willing to attest to. I mean, it's been 20 minutes since we all found out.
Happen to know any vampires?
You believe this to be the work of vampires? I'm sorry, I don't mean to
Just
scoff
one.
at the.
I don't think it's like a vampire cabal or anything, but it's definitely a vampire.
No, I can't say that I do. I've obviously heard of them, but I've never. They don't really exist.
And how well do you know Governor Johnson?
Governor Johnson, Robert Caller. But I've known him for many years.
Like a good guy?
Well, I appointed him as governor of a township, so am at least qualified to speak on his abilities to oversee individuals.
Is he a vampire?
I not that I'm aware of. That's quite an accusation to throw out. Did you have any proof of this?
Oh, he's like super pale and sweaty and acting weird last night, and then he went off and disappeared with the girl that's dead now.
That is concerning.
But we knew like he's a friend of yours, so we didn't want to say anything. If like maybe you knew he was a vampire, and maybe like sometimes things just happen.
Yeah, I can't speak to that. You said he was pale and sweaty?
Yeah.
He could have taken ill. And had to have his ride fetched from one of the attendants?
I mean, it's a definite possibility. We're not saying that he did this, but just on like the off chance that he's your friend and you happen to know that he's a vampire, and like I don't know,
I would
maybe
be
there's some beef
obligated to
between
tell
these
you.
two. Well, no, he would be obligated to tell me. It's not like there's no third party obligation.
If you know a vampire, you have to tell me. uh, I will be careful then. I'm sure the RSB will investigate, and they will determine who has done this. Unless you have, I don't mean to discount your abilities. You have proven yourselves thus far. Do you have any means of ascertaining the nature in which this individual died?
I mean, we could like speak to her.
Is it necromancy? Just kind of. I mean, if you think that will help.
I mean, generally when somebody gets like sucked by a vampire, they tend to know who did it, so it would probably help. But like that's, I just want to make absolutely sure that like, you know, we trust each other and we're not going to say anything if you don't want us to say anything. And like, if this happens to be a friend of yours that you think may have done this,
I would regard him as a colleague. I mean, as of late, we have had some disagreements over certain contracts, to which I believe my nemesis, as it were, Mr. Keswick, appears to actually be picking up Mr. Caller's vineyard contracts instead of myself. This bid.
oh yeah, that dude, super douche, spreading all kinds of crazy rumors. No idea where he got them from.
Mr. Keswick cannot let bygones be bygones. I was appointed the duchy by nomination, and he was not, and has not let it go since.
That sounds like an ass.
Seems kind of like an asshole, so.
Little bit of a non sequitur.
I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't invited yesterday, but he did invite himself.
Oh, was that the dude that sent the leash?
Yes. And you can see, like, Gellamdir's, like, expression sour. Like, he understood, like, the sentiment behind that, rather than, you know, Phelan, who's probably just young enough, like, doesn't understand, like, what that meant. And it just so happened that it's like, oh, he got a bunch of dogs as a present, so it's kind of like written off. But like, you know, the unspoken kind of like understanding between adults that like they understand like, you know, the meaning of something that like maybe a child doesn't is definitely recognized between like all of you.
Give me the word and I'll kick his ass. Like a prick.
Well, there is a saying of, you know, keep your friends close and your enemies closer. So, despite the fact that I care not for this man, he is useful, so it is beneficial, at least for the time being, to keep him present.
Can I borrow some of that paper by any chance?
Paper.
Harrow?
Yeah, I'll give you a piece.
I'm gonna need a stack.
Oh, also,
How much
if
are we
you're
talking?
I don't know. Just I'll pay you back.
I'll give you 10. You've got magic, I don't.
Yeah,
You
but I
hear
don't have
a
this kind of magic.
like
Give
a
me more for
bump
Morrison.
at the door, and the uh, Sewell's the attendant opens the door, reaches down and grabs the daily broadcast, kind of opens it up, and already there is the moving image of the events transpiring outside the palace. Kind of there, like the cops all around, like the body covered in the tarp. And the title says, fuck, where did it go? The title says, sucking the city dry. Duke Gellamdir, a vampire? Question mark. Murder at the palace.
ooh,
Please.
give me some of those fucking boots. I'll go up there and slap those assholes too.
Yeah, like the tabloids are already just, you can hear them figuratively just whirring away.
You don't read these for now?
You probably don't want to see this, but he Souls hands it over anyways.
While the Duke is looking at that, I'm gonna sign the note that I just wrote to send it off, and it just says Ildaria, does he know? To the Duchess, and I'm just gonna stare at her.
Oh shit! Make a perception check.
And like I'm looking for a response. I know she can't message back, so any slight movement to
I would
indicate
say,
yes or no.
Go ahead and roll that with advantage. I love it. I love it. Go ahead and roll that with advantage.
That's a natural 20.
That's an okay.
25.
So, Gary, you're a people person. You know people. You write this note, you scribble it, you just watch. And you hear the door bang, you hear that thing, you're trying not to pay any attention. It threatens to pull your attention away. And you just do your utmost best to fixate on the Duchess. You signed the name that you have been given onto that paper, and you watch the paper burn up and flash, and you know it goes through. And you're just sitting there watching so fucking intently, and there is like you're like trying not, like you're like trying to watch her, and you just see the most imperceptible jump, like, and then her eyes just bore ice daggers into yours, and there is just fury in her face.
Would I interpret that to be a no?
You're pretty certain, like, given such a visceral response of, this is definitely a, how the fuck did, like, what the fuck? And two, like, there is an intent or a specific meaning. There is, like, it doesn't hit, like, the way that you expect it to. Like, there is a momentary, like, lapse where you expect that message to, like, get there, but it takes a second. And then when it does, like, it is such a small, like, such a small but visceral reaction that is just like fury replaced with just like hate boring your way, and the unmistakable flash of just fear, to which you take as an absolute resounding no. And for the rest of this exchange, her eyes do not leave yours. And you, like, even if you turn away, like, you feel that gaze just boring into you. You get no response. Like, there are no other, like, outwardly movements or anything beyond that initial, like, shock and reaction. But, like, you know.
I will just quickly write another note that says he's a good man, but it's not my secret to tell. It's safe with us, but we should talk of other matters. Find us tonight.
Okay.
And then I'll put the rest of the papers away. Hand them back to Harold.
Just like scrumble the back, like this mound of papers, like makeshiftly shuffle. Just
Harrow just like, no, just keep them.
I was talking about my bag of holding.
I would say, Harold, because of your very high passive perception, you do notice an exchange between, like, you do notice, like, the Duchess's, like, attention directed in your direction, and it does not waver.
Just telepathically to Gary. It's something I should be concerned about?
Not for the moment.
Alright.
I asked her to, like, come find us tonight to talk. But I told her that her secret's totally safe with us. She still looks really fucking mad, though.
She looks really fucking mad. Like, Daniela Slater commands an authority whenever she's in the room. And when that fury is directed towards you, it takes on such a whole new meaning.
How far away is she from us?
30 feet. Just across the room.
Yeah, I think we should be extra on guard tonight, just in case.
I'm also going to take one of the papers and not sign a name to it or anything. And on the back where, like, you don't, not in the magic box where it could possibly ever get sent to somebody, but just, like,
Okay.
on the back, going to write DS is Big D in Infernal.
DS is Big D?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm real worried she's gonna, like, show up and wipe my memories or something. And I'm gonna memento this shit.
Then you're gonna end up with a paper that just says DS is Big D,
Yep.
and you're
I
like,
have no idea what it
yeah,
means.
no idea what it means.
I'm confident in myself to figure it out. But I'll tuck that back in the bag of holding.
Okay.
And
Fuck.
then I will go back to talking to the Duke.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm so uninterested in the murder.
Yeah.
It's just like making sure that they're safe and then doing my best to take my leave.
It's funny. There's like a, like, it's a conversation where two people are talking, but neither one is actually interested in what the other person has to say. So it's really just kind of like sentences that keep like dropping off from one another. And the Duke is just so preoccupied with everything that's going on, and the people asking questions and coming to talk to him and whisper things like as they walk up, and then him like giving orders and instructions, and just like matters of state that are like continuing to happen, and like getting behind because now he can't work because of this whole debacle that's like unfolding. And then the tabloids, and like him take the paper and just kind of like toss it into the wastebasket to the side of like the the sunken area where those like couches and lounge chairs and everything. It's just kind of like into the wastebasket down there, which Sewells comes by and attempts to like retrieve it to go take it out, and the Duke just leave it. Sewells leaves it. As you wish, master.
Realizing that he's doing his best to be polite to us,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say, sir, this is not the best time for polite conversation. Perhaps I apologize for being presumptive, but if you are busy, we would love to take Daniela and your son to see our ship, and the boy can play with the kobolds. I'm sure that he would have a much better day there, away from prying eyes.
Unfortunately, as these things go, we will need to make a statement. So there will be a bit of proceedings. Maybe I will speak to them, and if they have a chance to get away later this evening, then maybe they'll take you up on that offer. I do apologize for my impoliteness. There's
nothing to apologize for.
Thank you. We'll speak later. And then just without a goodbye or anything else, just turns back, like begins conducting more business, talking to more people. Like people are just coming and going, and it is a literal zoo.
We'll just see ourselves out.
Okay. As you walk away, you still feel like there's just 2 points of like cold staring into the back of your head, and as you turn, like give one final look.
I don't.
No. Okay. You do hear like the distinct pitter patter of small footsteps or run up.
That I will turn around for that.
For the first time since being in this room, Daniela's eyes are no longer on you, if for the briefest moment. And you see Phelan run up, and like her kind of be I guess distracted with attending to the boy rather than projecting hate in your direction.
I will just take off my belt from around my bathrobe and just like kneel down and hand it over to him and just like, go make some mischief. You can give that back to me later. I'll hand him the belt of grappling.
Oh, the belt of grappling. Okay, yeah. Okay. And just takes it. But come on down.
I'll mime doing like a little whip motion with it.
Yeah. They don't get very far before you hear a glass break.
Myself as we walk away.
Okay. Oh, that's right. I think Brett said he had COVID. Sasha, you're muted, I think.
Well,
Maybe
I was gonna
COVID.
say
Maybe COVID.
like at this point, we're probably all just back at the ship, just waiting.
I spent all day in the hot tub freaking out.
Double checking your rune of resurrection.
Yep. Like scared to leave the hot tub.
I'm going to message. Why can't I think of his name again? Morty, and then see if he wants to get lunch.
Morrison?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Let's see. He is available in the afternoon.
And we'll get lunch.
It's like a late lunch, but yeah, hang out with Morrison.
I'm gonna ask him what boots are those guys wearing, and if he knows where to get some. Reporter guys.
Let's see. Those are standard issue for members of the daily broadcast and the reporters and the buzzing flies like they are. I'm curious about purchasing some for yourself.
Yeah, those things are rad. Be dope to fly around. Then I
Might
could,
be able to make you something.
then me and Ralph can just fly together.
If you give me a few days, I might be able to come up with something.
Dude, Morty, you're the best. Lunch is on me.
I'll pay for lunch.
Interesting point of order. I think I'll pay for lunch if you don't mind. I did get word from the state office this morning that I am the official the official sponsored shop of Oberland. Now you wouldn't happen to have anything to do with it, would you?
Oh, I didn't talk to the state, but I told the Duke that you're awesome. Oh, and I also said that we're gonna be on like a billboard together. You're like you and me, and I guess the others too. We're gonna be like, hey, check it out.
That sounds absolutely divine.
I'm gonna order dessert. All happy.
It's good lunch. Morrison's like in a good mood, like he's ecstatic, like he's a little worried, like keeps talking about he needs this and that and all these things and what he's gonna have to do and hopes like just about all the like preparation he's gonna have to make for all of the business that he's probably going to get.
Do you need like some interns or something?
If you're offering, I would definitely take you up on it, if you're willing.
Oh, I'm
Are you
fine.
going to be in? Are you going to be in town for a while?
No clue, but I'll totally help you out until I leave.
I will. I mean, I do have an assistant already. I believe you have met, but I'll take all the help I can get.
Yeah.
And whatever free time I have, I'll spend with him, helping him.
Okay.
Do whatever.
I guess it's really gonna depend on how long do you guys wish to stay in Oberland.
Well, I'm gonna spend the entire day talking to Antinius about what kind of like magic glyphs and shit he can prepare to keep us safe, to specifically cast on the hot tub, and then also rigging up the spotlight as like an above hot tub lantern that just shines directly down onto it. Little string that pulls down so I can just yank it.
Okay. Like aha, I got you. I can see you now.
No,
Oh.
more of just like a pull it, and then we get like a wash of true sight aura around us to make sure there's no scrying sensors or anything.
Gotcha. Oh, the soul lantern. Sure,
Can you
sure.
also like scribe something like Zone of Truth on it? Like when you click it, like cast Zone of Truth.
I can't
Now-
even do Zone of Truth, but Antinius, you can do that, right?
I'll talk to Gary and be like, look, I can only do so much at any particular time. I'm not like a lizard. I can't concentrate on two things at once. You can be protected, or you can have a zone of truth. And even then, I'm not sure if I can magic circle a dragon away. I'll be real honest.
What's a magic circle?
Well, It lasts for an hour, but it basically creates this really big, tall cylinder, this really large cylinder of light, focused on a point, and I can keep a creature from entering it or exiting, essentially.
Does it
But
like
it has to be
stop
a
other
specific-
people from hearing from outside of the light?
No, that would be zone of silence or something. That's not something I have access to, though. But I'm familiar with that
what
type of
can
magic.
you do?
But
You
I can
create light.
stab things.
Most
Vengeance,
useless
paladin.
angel ever.
Yeah.
I'm not an angel. I'm a paladin.
Same thing.
Yeah, like I'm a holy warrior, man.
I'm just gonna spend
I'm
all
a
day
holy
like coming up with elaborate ways that Antinius should be able to protect me, and then having them shot down by the fact that I
Aren't you
cannot do that.
like? Aren't you a cleric? Why can't you do anything useful with your fucking magic?
Yeah, not to mention you're the supposed Lord of Hells. Why can't you just do it?
That's why I have lackeys.
You don't have any lackeys. You have a guy named Paul. Because you won't go home.
You know what? You're totally right, Paul.
Yes, sire. Just
Can you like create magic that will keep people from hearing what we're saying inside of like a little cone?
There's a spell for that, but I think it's a mage spell.
how soon do you need it?
Like 4 hours.
I will do my best, sire.
Oh fuck yeah, dude! Paul is totally better than you. Paul's got my back. He's definitely getting a raise. Like if I ever do become Lord of Hell,
Thank
he's
you,
gonna be
sire.
Hera's gonna see if she can make some celestial bullets.
Okay. Go ahead. Ooh, that's a tough one. I guess you go ahead and make a tinkering check.
That is a 23.
23. Okay. How many coins do you have?
She just has
I
one.
think I one.
And it was what kind of coin?
Platinum.
Platinum. Okay.
See if I can make like 2 bullets or like plate them in it or something.
Okay. Gary, will you roll me a d4, please?
Oh god, they're gonna explode.
3.
3. Okay. After about 4 hours, there is a bright red flash. And nearby you see like these small cylindrical little objects.
Insight check. Did Daniela send bombs at me?
You're pretty sure this is not Daniela's doing. There is like infernal glyphing all over them.
Oh, sweet. I'll go check him out.
Okay. Through inspection, you can like create a dome where anybody can talk within it, but outside of it, nobody can hear or understand or see. It just kind of becomes like this opaque kind of like, I guess it's not even opaque. There's just like a slight shimmery like soap-like sheen that kind of erupts in a 15-foot area, centered on a point of its activation. So you just like screw the top and then they're one use only for each one. So single use item.
And I got 3 of them?
And you got 3.
Ooh, fuck yeah. I'm just getting immediately on the walkie-talkie like, Paul, you are the fucking best. And from now on, you're like Field Marshal Paul. I'm promoting you to Field Marshal.
Oh, you are too kind. Thank you, sire. I would also like to take this time to point out my failures in attempting to...
Nope, we're not going to talk about those right now. Right now, you are Field Marshal Paul.
Just like throw the rock in the backpack while he's like spouting off about something. Okay. Harrow, there is a like as you're making these, like they have a very specific nature to them. The forging process is difficult. There is a little bit of waste, but because of like a singular coin, you are able enough to like make enough material where you can make one bullet of angel slaying.
Angel slaying?
Angel slaying?
Of angel slaying. It
Oh,
is
fuck.
celestial metal.
Looks like we're going to take out Antinius if we need to.
Why is that not demon slaying?
Will we know that? Does angel slaying mean like angels are going to do some slaying when you shoot this gun?
No, it means as in
Super effective against angels.
yeah, very, very effective. Like turning something of their own making against them. Like there is almost like in the creation of this. Let me just look up
Fuck,
here.
can I jerk off into some bullets and get some bullets of devil slaying?
Yeah, so you can use the arrow of dragon slaying as the template for what this does, but basically it will deal an extra 6d10 to a celestial
Jesus.
if they fail a Constitution save.
Holy fuck.
Well, if she
There
tells me
is-
what that does, I'm never giving her more of that.
There is so you have one like the celestial like runic glyphs that are naturally a part of the coin, like the folding and like sculpting of the metal to form it into a bullet. Like you're not necessarily religious, but there is something so profane about this thing that you have created.
Did Antinius give Morrison? Yeah, I pocket that. I don't tell anyone about it, and that goes like in the pockets is.
Like how we're like, oh yeah, this metal can totally be used to kill demons. Let's give it out to everybody.
And then it's just like like that there is like this really perverse thought of like, could I kill a god? It's like just like no. But like to know that it's like something of a celestial body that would just be absolutely torn asunder by something so insignificant. There is something
Would Harrow?
like you're like obviously exuberant, like you have created something incredible, but at the same time like it is also something so profane.
Would Harrow know, like, religion-wise, that all Celestials were good?
I mean, that's generally how they segregate themselves.
Okay.
Like the embodiment of
yeah.
call an ambulance, but not for me.
Yeah.
Alright, yeah. Harrow will just keep that one close.
Yeah, that's...
That goes in the special pocket.
But it's like... I can't... Like, don't even think about it. Don't even... Like, just the thought. Like, there is something incredibly like exhilarating the fact that you've like have created something like this, but at the same time like the weight of that decision also weighs heavily.
She's not gonna destroy it. Because you never know when it might come in handy.
It might be handy.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like excited. Oh yeah, and then just like the mood, just like wait, what the
Oh
fuck?
no!
Like we gave a bunch of these out to the world yesterday.
There's only 2 gone. One to Morrison, which he probably isn't going to make a weapon out of it.
That's what he does. That's his profession.
Yeah.
That's his job title.
I wonder. It'd be interesting to try it with alchemical supplies. And potion.
A potion of
Next time,
celestial
Hera.
poisoning.
No, like maybe if you can like I don't know, give yourself like celestial essence.
I feel like we
Send
just
yourself to godhood with a
we just
potion.
turned a very dark corner in this campaign, where we have come to
Yeah.
the fact of like we travel with the ruler of hell, and now we have the tools to tear the heavens asunder.
Oh, we have one bullet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here.
It's the
So,
implication.
with that knowledge in mind, Hera is going to go down to the infernal forklift and see if she can repurpose some of the metal on it without dismantling it.
Sure, make another tinkering check.
Uh,
And the forklift's
another
fucked.
23.
Oh.
Yeah, you find some what you consider to be extraneous metal. Just some
Take one of the
metal
forks off of it.
flashing. Yeah, pull it off of there.
And
The
see if
left
she can do
blinker
the
is just
same.
no longer functional after this.
Yeah, just pulling wires out, just stripping. She's just like going for the infernal
Take
copper.
Take
Yeah,
the catalytic converter off of it. The demonic converter.
Yeah, she's chasing a high now.
Yeah, and see if she can do the same with that.
Oh god, she's gonna try to shoot Gary to kill the demon inside of him.
No, that's for...
No, this bullet is reserved for Torgoth.
Well, possibly.
Okay.
See if I can do the same thing.
Go ahead. Make another tinkering check. Third one.
Alright, that's a 19.
A 19. Okay, so you have spent a lot of time today doing your other project, which led you on a tangent to where you currently are. I would say you probably need tomorrow to finish up and finish like forging and refining this, but you're fairly confident in your ability to recreate this.
Like, wrapping it up, just like marches down to Gary in the hot tub. This might be a weird request, but do you have access to getting more infernal metal? I agreed, potentially.
Sorry, I was peeing.
And here comes the Paul. Here comes Paul.
What do you need metal for?
So, we've got the issue with hell, right? And you know, your challenger, Balfagor, fighting demons, it would be beneficial to have ammunition that would be more impactful on them, and
So-
I think... Yes.
This is technically infernal. So this would be against devils, not demons. They are different. It was an
You
infernal.
need abyssal metal.
You would need abyssal.
Okay. Infernal. Okay, I guess we'd need abyssal metal too. But infernal will do for Balfagor. But if I have the metal from those planes, I can make ammunition, I think.
Am I
Kill
still at the
angels?
pool? Am I still at the hot tub with with Gary at this point?
Yeah, I suppose.
What?
Why would you
What,
need
Carrie?
infernal metal?
Because I can use the metal to plate a bullet that will be better suited at piercing through their defenses. It would be more effective than what we currently are using.
What about like the celestial metal? Wouldn't that be more effective?
No.
What did the celestial metal prove itself useful for?
It proved itself useful to this theory, and it is the basis of why I can craft this theory and that it will work.
So you're
So it'll
saying
be really, really strong against devils then.
Yes, which means if
So
Paul
let's just get some more
rolls-
celestial metal then.
I think what she's saying is
No.
that the celestial metal will be strong against celestials.
Yes. So if
What
you
the
want to kill
fuck?
devils,
That's
so
you know.
exactly. That's why I'm not asking for celestial metal. Clearly, I'm asking for infernal and abyssal. That way we can craft weapons that will be better suited for this task.
I don't like any of this.
I like parts of it.
Again,
Where's your
it's the
like
implication.
angel killing bullet?
It is when no one will find it.
Can I
And
see
why
it?
do you even think I have one? No.
Well, because you just said that you made one and it's super good at killing angels.
Yeah,
I said it was.
I think that
a
should probably not
foundation-
exist. I might not have an inclination against the metal of infernals and abyss, but
I clearly have an implication against that.
fair.
That seems like a bad
So,
idea.
abyssal metal is a go, but the celestial bullet
sure.
needs to be turned back into not a bullet.
Can we test this theory? Like, okay.
No.
All right, I'm not saying.
All right,
shoot
Antonius,
somebody
go
with
stand
it.
over there.
I'm
What if
not a
we-
celestial.
Well, you're the closest thing that we have. It's got to do something to you, right?
Yeah, it's a bullet.
Okay, again, not saying we shoot it, but like, what if I just like flick it at you, and I'll flick a regular bullet at you, and you tell me which one hurts worse?
No, it's.
How about we make an infernal bullet and flick that at you?
Well, yeah, we could, but that would hurt.
At least you're a devil. I'm not a celestial.
You're like the worst bodyguard ever.
It's like, I'm not a bodyguard. I'm a babysitter.
All I'm saying is, if you have access to this metal, it would be nice if I could get more.
Hey, Paul.
Yes, sire.
Field Marshal Paul.
Do we have any metal from the abyss lying around?
We do indeed.
Oh shit! Really?
Yes, we captured one of the abyssal engines.
Oh shit! That sounds like a lot of metal.
Can he shrink
Does
that down
it
and send
have
it to us?
be
Okay.
that ink?
So I'm gonna put my friend Harrow on the line. She's gonna tell you how to turn it into bullets that you
Oh.
can shoot demons with, and it's super effective apparently.
Maybe. She hasn't made one yet.
Ah, that sounds like a good idea.
Gonna look at
Okay,
her.
go take her with
Congratulations, you're the new arms maker for the devil resistance. You're now an arms dealer,
Here-
an
so,
interplanar arms dealer.
I guess, Harrow, I do need to make this. I do need to say something because we did not cover it. You guys have extant, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Each one of these bullets requires 100 gold of extant and
Oh,
the
no.
material from where it's made to be made.
What?
So
We don't have that much extant.
How much extant you have?
We have 500 gold worth of extant.
Oh.
Well,
I would not have given her 200 gold to make 2 bullets.
However, like metagaming, that is an extra 60 damage potentially. Like that is a good use of extant.
Or an extra 4 damage. You want to play that game?
I mean, look, all I'm saying is, it's half a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's an extra 30 damage on average.
I will remove 200 gold worth of extant considering it is party treasure. But
Ooh.
hearing about this plan, I would have serious thoughts about not using the entirety of our extant for this.
I would not have used the entirety, and I feel bad about that now. And I did not know that.
I'll
will
give
not
you
touch
the
it.
first 2 for free because
Okay.
we didn't discuss it, and it wasn't something that I thought that I brought up fast enough because I was very
Okay.
excited for that.
And then you realize the implications of what you had done.
Well, it was just like I'm sitting here. I was like, well, okay, they're crafting like super magical bullets. I'm like, well, it can't just be with the metal. Like there's got to be like a focus. I was like, okay, like the only like
Yeah.
logical solution here is that you use extant.
Yeah.
So
That makes sense.
not like I guess
Are
to
you-
rein it in. It wasn't like my thought was I need to rein this in. It was how do I reconcile these bullets being a thing without them just why don't those already fucking exist?
How much?
And that is my headcanon reason for why these don't really exist is
No,
because of
that-
the cost of
that's-
extant to produce them.
And so
Makes sense.
we can't get extant anywhere, right?
It's technically a controlled substance.
Yeah, because we've looked for it a lot and have not come across any extant other than the small amount that we've found so far.
How
I
much
don't
is-
know if you've asked for it.
We have.
Have you?
Yeah, we asked Morrison for it the first time we saw him,
That's right.
and we've asked around at like
I
other
think we
magic
asked at the
places, and
elf
we
place
keep getting rebuffed
when
by
we were at
being
that
like,
place.
no, that stuff's illegal. We don't.
Yeah.
or maybe not the elf
Punchy
place,
or
but we
blurry.
asked when we talked to the outlaws
Oh.
or something like that. How much of that metal would it take to like inlay in a sword or something? As you said, you just like coated the bullet, right? It's not like a full
didn't do
bullet
it.
made out of it.
I was under the assumption it was made of it. For it to truly be like that, it needs to
Yeah.
be made of it.
Okay. I guess like if we were to do the same process to like make a dagger, would that dagger get the same traits?
Probably, but I mean, rather than an object this big that requires
Yeah, you would need like
100
10.
gold worth of extant, you've probably got you've got this much metal.
It's like a
$50,000
$15,000
gold worth of
deck.
extant.
that you're probably looking at like $10,000 to $15,000 worth of extant
Okay.
to craft a weapon with.
Well, we could always make our Godslayer sword if
So
we
no,
need
it's
to.
only like
Pardon?
40,000 for a sword.
Demon
You guys
Slayer
got
sword.
money?
Let's focus on the Demon Slayer aspect of this. No
Yeah.
slaying gods, no slaying devils.
I know. We're just. I knew it was going there. I was like, and we've skipped to the part where we're killing gods.
Well, at least Dagon's
Fuck
not
the government. We're killing gods.
here. At least Dagon's not here to automatically have weapon envy again.
Oh god, yeah.
Is Tiamat? She's not considered a celestial. She's abyssal?
Be
She is
draconic.
no. She's a titan,
Yeah.
right? Like she's
An
neither a
aspect,
god nor
yeah, she fits into neither to like no category.
Okay. And I would assume that the Queen of Chaos is similar, like...
She might actually be like abyssal might actually work on her.
Isn't she technically a devil?
The Queen
No,
of
she's
Evil dragons,
the
greater
Queen-
god's bane.
her name is Queen of Chaos. That's definitely a demon name.
Well, you have heard her referred to two different like you don't know her real name. You just know like two different titles that she is referred to. The Oracle of the Steaming Fin and the Queen of Chaos.
Totally abyss.
She is. I think you have like come to the conclusion through like research that she is in fact from the abyss, or from talking to people that she is in fact from the abyss. She is not, like, for clarification, not a god. But definitely something that is probably
He's like
on the same
the
par
Torgoth
as
of
like
the abyss.
or more like Torgoth is probably like a lesser, like a lesser archdevil. Or he's probably an archdevil. So, I mean, an archdevil like has some pretty like, I mean, they can vary, but I mean that's a pretty significant, entity to deal with at their full power, not reduced to a suit of armor. You would probably put the Queen of Chaos somewhere probably about that, or just above, as far as like I guess like overall like pantheon standing sort of situation. Not a god, but definitely enough that is, but then also like, how do you quantify like an individual or an entity that just inherently knows things? So there is a little bit of like consternation about that, but for like, if you want to, I would say you could comfortably fit that within the realm of Archdevil as far as power level goes. Not God.
All right, Kyle. No more stalling.
Okay. I'm not stalling. I'm just answering people's questions. Anything anybody else wants to do today before we move on?
I'm ready for the TPK.
Do
Just give it to us.
from the DM perspective with Magic Circle, can I like use it to lock a dragon in? Like, or does it need to be like, because it's not a dragon needed, like, it's technically looks like it's based off of type of creature, but I think that like dragons technically
it can
like,
definitely work on dragons.
because I mean, like, looking at it realistically, Zone of Truth, a dragon can easily pass a charisma saving throw. They're fucking pretty charismatic creatures.
She's still got a saving throw for Magic Circle, but
yeah,
you could use it to lock her in there by naming dragon as a type, assuming
that's what I'm
she's
curious
actually
about.
a dragon.
Yeah.
It says choose one or more of the following types of creatures: celestials, elementals, fey, fiends, or undead.
That's what
No,
I'm asking. Like, the dragons
never
actually fall into that category, or dragon's a dragon? Like, by the
Dragon is dragon.
okay.
Which is weird. I mean, fucking dragons are such powerful creatures. It's amazing that they don't fit on.
But so are krakens, and they also wouldn't fit on that. Like it's
Yeah.
for planar creatures that are not native
Like
to this
extra
plane.
planar. Yeah, extra planar.
Yeah, you can have like a djinn and
but I mean-
stuff, and that's still huge and wouldn't categorize them with that.
I mean, there's like, I mean, technically the
There's
fiend
a lot
thing
of
works in
things that are
Torghast,
like
but,
probably yeah. I
but
don't
it
know.
doesn't seem to. Like, it doesn't. I mean, to be fair, too, a dragon, an actual dragon, wouldn't fit in this cylinder, as it's described.
A 10-foot radius? No,
Yeah.
probably not.
No.
But I mean, then again, some like fiends and shit are also massive. So I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing, but I guess not.
Okay.
Which I mean, technically, there is already a very similar aura that protects this ship that Gary has already erected. And what was the no followers of the Queen of Chaos or no of Tiamat.
No,
Right?
it's demons.
No demons.
All demons.
Uh-huh. And there
I have
was
to look
there
it
was
up.
one other thing.
Let me look it up.
Demons can't
'Cause I've got it
teleport
written down.
in
And there's a lot of options that I had to choose from.
Yeah.
So celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead can't enter the area, nor can they charm, frighten, or possess creatures within it, unless
Gotcha.
they're Levi, because he doesn't actually
See,
count.
not a
as
celestial.
undead.
I'm here.
Well, I can also designate people to be able to come in. Any charmed, frightened, or possessed creature is no longer charmed, frightened, or possessed upon entering the area.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I can exclude one or more of these creature types from the effect. I excluded celestials, so celestials are free to come and go as they want. And Levi does not technically count as undead, so he didn't qualify for this because he's
Yeah.
kind of on the edge. But elementals, fae, fiends, and undead can't enter the area, period. And then I bound an extra effect to it, which is that affected creatures can't move or travel using teleportation or by extra-dimensional or interplanar means.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
no, it's just extra-dimensional interference. They cannot teleport into or
Away
out
from
of.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's not limited to just celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, or undead. That's anybody that's not designated, I believe.
Gotcha. Okay. You see approaching the ship as the sun begins to set and the evening unwinds and the just a rumble of commotion below begin to subside and wane as the day drags on into the evening and to sunset. A lone figure in her icy blue dress begins to make her way towards the air dock where the Duchy of Seredni's ship also lies, as well as yours. This figure rides the small elevator up to the top to where your ship is berthed and makes their way to your ship.
I just want to point out that I would have left towards sunrise, or sunset, so would have either been there or coming up soon.
Back to the ship?
Yeah.
Yeah,
After
okay.
we had our lunch and hung out for a bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm in the hot tub, wearing a bathrobe to remain modest.
In the water?
In the water.
Okay. Daniela Slater makes her arrival. There is no Phelan in tow. And she steps onto the ship.
as she's coming up, I'll just like stand up, but I'm not getting out of the hot tub. I'm staying in the hot tub.
Okay, just like
Safe space.
waist up, yeah, bathrobe, kind of like flowing out in the rippling water behind you as it sloshes gently up over the edge, bubbling and frothing.
I'll just wave and make kind of a show. Be like, Daniela, I'm so glad you could come see the ship. Please, here, come take in the hot tub with me for a few moments, and then we can do a tour of everything else.
There will be
She-
refreshments.
She
Set
doesn't.
out?
She doesn't meet your wave or your joviality. She just wordlessly, silently strides upon the gangplank up onto the deck of your ship towards the hot tub. And we'll pick up there next week.
Oh, come
Oh
on.
no!
You motherfucker.
Why would you do that, Kyle?
Gotta keep you wanting more. There were so many reveals tonight.
It was a good night.
Ah.
Also, I think it's interesting how like three. Did you say something there? 3 people at least said something about dragons to them in a multitude of different ways.
I refused to. I was like, there is no way I'm doing that.
So mad right now, Kyle.
You fucking dragon talk blue balls.
I'm sorry, but
No,
there's
you're
always
not.
next week.
I understand this is a how the fuck am I supposed to play this out? I need a week to prep for this.
No, absolutely not.
Well, then
No,
let's go.
I'm ready. No, I'm ready.
Dagan and Obi
I'm
should be here
ready.
for this very intense conversation.
But I do feel that Dagan and Obi should probably be here for this. They've got a lot to catch up on, and I think they probably
I'm
have some things
solo
to
with
say.
her in the hot tub. This is a mano conversation that's about to occur. Everybody else is feel free to ask their questions afterwards, but this is set up to be a one-on-one.
No bugs or wires, hence the hot tub.
As he's fully clothed. Nothing to see here.
I'm in a bathrobe. We're about to be under a lamp of true sight in a cone of silence. So
The
You're
one
gonna
thing,
set the
in the hot
mood.
tub
the
stays
one
in
thing
the
I
hot tub.
will say, as she approaches
Oh, God.
and basks under the lamp of
The
true
lantern's
sight.
not on yet.
Oh, it's not on? Okay. Okay.
Does
Never mind.
anybody
Fix it.
else get to be in like the zone while you talk to her?
I mean, because you, me, and Hera would have all been right there, so you're gonna tell us to leave?
Yeah, I mean, if she came in, we
I
would have all
would have
noticed that
tried
she
to
came.
set this up to be as one-on-one as possible. If you guys have
so
serious
let's-
feelings about getting in there too, you can jump in the hot tub if you want to.
Let's just canon it
I would-
saying he asked for a solo combo.
I would have asked to
I would give
approach
Gary.
this individually.
I would give Gary his privacy.
Yeah, I'll be.
I would have double checked to make sure that in the zone of silence or cone of silence or whatever, that our Rocky Talkies still work. Because if you about to die, we need to know.
So it doesn't like create like an opaque area, right? It's just a deafening cone.
Like a deafening bubble.
Yeah. So I'm gonna I'll be in like view of him, but like just kind of like 30, 40, 50 feet away from it, but like one hand on my savior's cloak just in case, like just ready.
I would say as part of this, no in or outbound communications are able to work. So
So
the
no
Rocky
Rocky
Talkies would be rendered like unavailable.
That seems fair.
What
Because
about
otherwise it would pretty much render it completely obsolete.
Yeah, and same
What
thing with the
about
papers.
telepathic connection?
Yeah, that's kind of when the papers come in. Same thing.
Because I would assume if that's the case, then that wouldn't work either.
I think that's fair. I think it's like
I mean, I
should be
feel
set
like
up in a way that's only the people in the bubble that can hear each other.
yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
that's
I
kind
mean,
of the
you
privacy
can
part.
probably, I would say, I don't know. That's kind of weird. Like, why is it like why does some work and then others don't?
I would
Um,
just say complete no communication zone.
that's kind of
Yeah.
where I'm
You
at.
you
It is.
initially described it as like opaque too, so
I
it
that's what I
it's
was,
just
but I
it
was like,
almost creates like a demi-plane where
yeah.
these things are
Because
happening.
uh, well, that was kind of my original idea, but then I was like, well, I didn't want it to be like too obvious that something weird was going on. So like, if you wanted to use it like just in the middle of somewhere, like you could kind of do it and
I feel like if
probably get
it's
away
like
with it.
go to silence, it could be completely like invisible, but just absolutely
Yeah.
nothing. Like you walk
Like
like
there,
into a
there
nothing
is a
and
like a I would just say just like
there's a
very
shimmer.
barely, yeah, like opaque shimmer to it that you can see, kind of like that of like a almost like that of a like a bubble,
Like when my shield pops.
like a soap bubble sort of thing, like that you see. Like you can see that like iridescent shimmer. So like there is enough that like you could like if you were paying attention you could see it, and you can see the outline of it. But just in general passing it would allow, you know, some form of silent communication.
In
But
that
no sound passes in or out. So I would say no communication whatsoever. It just fails, or and no no sound, you know, passes through that barrier.
in that case, I would set Ralph up in the room somewhere, just to kind of keep an eye to make sure in case something happens.
Ralph in the hot tub with us, just writing down everything we say and then holding up posters.
Yeah, paper analog still works. Nothing digital.
There you go. Radio waves are cut off.
And I've had all night to think about this. Like I knew I was like he's
Could
like
we not just play the scene, Kyle?
No.
No, we should wait for them.
That was me last week, just trying to get to that track.
We have gone over time to like buy dinner before.
I know, but this is.
And I get to talk to a dragon. All of a sudden, we have to wait till fucking next week. This
It's not like talking to a dragon's anything new.
Yeah. Been there, done that. I don't know what you're so excited for.
Oh,
Any final words?
Fucking D&D, guys. Fucking D&D.
Fucking D&D. Bye-bye.